And welcome, everyone. Welcome to another OSR Tabletop with myself, GM Bloodworth for these purposes. And I'm joined by Scott Legault of Rising Phoenix GameCon. And both of us were at this past weekend's, or really yesterday and Friday's ShireCon 2025. And I've invited a lot of people to come on in during this. And that'll be great. Let me just turn down the volume on the other stream. There we go. Always have to wait on that. And we're also going to be joined by others. I'm going to introduce everybody as they come in. I've invited everybody, so we will probably rotate out. Hey, Takato, how's it going? So, yeah, we're going to be talking about ShireCon 2025 and just basically our gaming experiences. I'm not going to focus so much on my experience because I'm going to be doing separate videos for that as well. But I wanted to hear what everyone else had to say about the convention, and the three of us right now, we all played in a game together at least, and Takato played in one of my games, one of my Castles and Crusades games. So yeah, this is the kind of community that ShireCon has, where many of us cross paths, at multiple places, multiple conventions, and we've played with each other. We've sat in games with each other, and we've game mastered with each other as well. So that's a really cool thing. So Scott, I'll let you introduce yourself, and then Takato, and we'll just go round robin.
First of all,
we'll jump in.
Thanks for having me back, Rich. I am Scott Legault. I run Rising Phoenix GameCon. I'm the con chair there. I don't just run it alone. I have a whole crew of directors. But I've been going to ShireCon since the first year. I did miss a couple. This was my first one back in 2 years. And it's a great small con. Tom Wilson, who runs it, excellent guy, really does a lot for the community in that area. And it's very homey feeling. Everybody feels welcome. Just an all around well run small con. You're bound to see somebody there. So and have some fun. Great games. So.
All right, Takato, go ahead.
Yeah, Ducato or Stan or Troll Den Painting, a bunch of different names that come up at different times. This was my second ShireCon. My first one was last year. It was actually my first con was last year. So, what Scott said, it's a great small con. Everybody is very friendly and just there to have fun and play games. And it's really kind of refreshing.
It was, it was a great experience. It always has been. This was my fourth time going to ShireCon, so it was the first in-person convention I went to. I guess that would have been 2022, and that was my first in-person convention since prior to that 1985. So had a long stretch. That was my introduction, and that pretty much kicked me off onto going to 4 or 5 conventions every single year. And that's where it was in 2022 that I first met Scott in person, because Scott was my player in a D&D Beckme campaign that I ran probably
during COVID.
Yeah, it was during
19,
COVID.
Maybe
so
19, 20.
Yeah, so 19 and 20 is when I was running that Beckme campaign, and then it just so happened that we both ended up at ShireCon in 2022.
And I was like, hey, I know that guy.
And it was like, hey, and And that's when Scott told me that, hey, I run a convention too, and that was my first, that was my first Rising Phoenix that very next year in April. So it's always been ShireCon has always been September. One year I think it was October, but it's typically September. Last week in September, it had changed venues 3 times from just over the last 4 years, but it's twice now at this particular venue. This venue is a VFW, which is a Veterans of Foreign Wars. I get it's not really a post, or I think they call
it. I think it is a post.
It is a post. So, and they have their own barbecue pit and 2.5 bars, so it has a full bar and then a half bar on the upstairs level of it. I think the room space, the way that they utilized, the room space was a little bit better this year, I think, compared to last year. Not that it was, at all disorganized last year, but I'm just saying I think it's just a better way of setting up with the vendors, and their registry table and everything was, it was comfortable. I mean, probably about 10, 12 tables. I'll wait if Tom is going to come. There's a chance he may not. But, I think there was at least 12 tables upstairs, and then I think 12 upstairs, and probably about 8 downstairs. In the other area. The other area I think was more board games.
Yeah, boards and miniatures.
Theirs was, yeah.
Yeah, and then the upstairs,
pretty
pretty much straight up.
Yeah, I'd just like to say something about the VFW hall. Kudos to them. What a great organization they have there. Their volunteers were excellent.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't have been happier that we were there. I was shocked at how good the food was. I go to cons all the time, and I've been to some big cons at big hotels, and the food there was spot on.
Yeah,
it was hot. Yeah. It was tasty. They didn't have an amazing selection, but they had something for everybody. And I know they were a little short staffed on Saturday, and they came out kicking though. They fed everybody, so it was really good to see them in action and to talk to some of the vets that were there. So.
And from what Tom was saying is that they do give us a break on the food too, because it was inexpensive, compared to what you might run into.
Yeah, it was very reasonable.
Cons,
very reasonable. So.
Yeah. So it was a great experience. So gaming wise, I'm just going to go around. So Scott, what was the games that you played in during the or ran?
I didn't run anything. So. I run a lot of stuff at other conventions. I run like all weekend at TotalCon and Carnage and other cons that I go to. I run, and I run a game or two at my own con. And I kind of took this as a break, and I went down. I just got to play some stuff. I tried to play some stuff that I've never played before, so I had a lot of fun. I played in 5 if you count Tom's. End of the con tavern brawl, which was a blast. But I played in Cult of the Feline Oracle with Techna. I played the Neon Lords game with you, and that was Ed Murphy. I played the This Worship was an OSR Heartseeker with Bob. I think his last name was Bursch. And then I played the Fate Accelerated kind of tribute to Thunder the Barbarian called the Sleepy Demon.
Oh, cool.
Sleeping Demon with Dave, and I forgot his last name, but what a great game I had. They were all great games. I had a good time at every game. So yeah, good gaming, good folks, good GMs, a lot of camaraderie there. Everybody feels it's just a great feel. It's a great little fun. It's the first year I went. I was like, wow, this is great, and I really enjoy going. And I'll be back next year again. I'll probably end up running something back next year. So,
yeah, the dates are already out. When I was going through my swag folder, I was like, I thought it was just a bookmark, and then it was like, it said save the date. So it was like, I think it's September 26th and 27th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So already got the dates.
Again, and right around my birthday. My birthday's the
Yeah.
25th, so it's kind of was a present to myself going and playing games. So
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
Takata, what you play in or
Um,
run?
I didn't run anything. I
Mhm.
may do that next year. I played in a Shadow Dart game
Okay.
run by Ian McGurdy.
Yes.
Yes. That was fun. It was a bit of a gonzo adventure where we almost all of us died except for one, but it
Yeah.
was a lot of fun. And he was actually selling the adventure. He wrote the adventure, so he's selling it at his booth there, and I picked
Right.
up a copy. It was fun.
cool,
Then I played Hyperborea with Jeff
Yeah.
Talanian, which was awesome.
great
It was my
game.
second
He's a
year
great
of being
GM.
able to get into his game, so that was a lot of fun. And then I played Cast Crusades with you. That was
Right.
fun. And then we played against the Dark Master to finish out the day,
Yeah.
day two.
Yeah. So yeah, there was a lot of different games there that are being run, and
Hmm.
that's something that's really important to note about these smaller conventions. Um, I don't want people out there thinking, "Oh, it's a small convention. It's under 200 people, or it's under even 300 or 400 or 500." Because people, Rising Phoenix is what, like 600
Yeah, we broke
about last year,
about
I think,
650 last year.
about 650 last year, and yet it's still it's still, according to some, still considered a small
Yeah,
con,
we're not a big con.
and it's a just a variety of game systems that you're going to run into, run there is or run into while you're there is just amazing. Even though there may be organized play at some of them. Like I know Rising Phoenix has some organized play.
We have
Nepal,
D&D and Pathfinder. organized play.
Pathfinder as organized play, but those, from what I've seen, like on the main floor of the rooms that they're in, you'll see everything, from Savage Worlds to Weird Frontiers to OSC or
Oh yeah,
I'm hoping to see. Oh, I'm sure Shadow Dark you're going to see popping up.
we saw it last year. Yeah,
Yeah.
the gritty stuff is really big right now. There's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff coming out in that, so you're going to see a lot of that all this year, I think, and maybe in the future because it's fun. It harkens back to the old first edition stuff where you died easy, and so
Oh yeah,
and there's a challenge in that gamers haven't had in years. There's 3 rolls before you die, and if someone gets to you, that's there's none of that in a lot of these games. Like
Right.
you get to 0, you're dead. So
Yeah. Yeah. So here we have Corey, and Corey played with all of us, right? He was in at least one of my games, and then we played in a game together. So he played. He was in the same game that Scott and I were in, and the same game that myself and Stan were in. So,
hey Corey,
I played in alone against the Dark Master.
yes.
Nice. It's weird, like you don't. At least I don't. I have a hard time putting because I'm new to it. So it's like names to faces and such.
good playing
Yeah.
with you, Matt.
Yeah, it was good meeting you too, Matt, and just awesome. Again, the small con experience is that especially these ones where a lot of us we are pretty much going to a lot of conventions in our immediate region, and you're going to start to see the same faces, at each of these conventions. Like so, whether it's ShireCon or Rising Phoenix or the Central New York RPG Con. I mean, even Philadelphia Area Game Expo, even though that's a bit of a longer journey, still it's under 4 hours and, much bigger con, but you still see a lot of the same people there as well, plus others from the outside that we normally don't get to see. But within this 4 hour, time to, I know that Takano is coming from much further than 4 hours though. So
Four and a half.
he's schlepping down from Maine. So,
right.
but still, it's I think it's incredible when you start running into the same people, and you have
Yeah.
varying opportunities to either play with them as players, or they might be playing in your game or you're playing in their game. And just the idea that, hey, I'll see you in 6 months at this next convention, I think is the
Yeah.
biggest seller.
There's a
For it.
huge social
Yeah.
piece to gaming, that you meet people and you see them again, and then it might be a good thing, or it might be a game where you were kind of at odds against each other, and you're like,
Right.
I remember you from last year. You're the guy that did
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all fun, and it just broadens your experience, and you never know who you meet. Like Ricardo, I see you're a painter. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for painting people for the con, so maybe we could talk. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
and that's what it's about. It's about meeting
Yeah.
people and furthering the hobby. I want to make a call out to Noah Green. Ran a kids game on Saturday night day. He had about
Yes.
8 kids between
Yeah.
the ages of probably like 10 and 15. And I looked over at one point. I was like, that poor bugger. They were all running around and screaming, but
he was right behind us.
He did
Yes.
such a good job with it. I was
Yeah,
so
he did.
impressed.
He did.
And that's what the future of gaming is about. It's the kids.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. That was the one picture I didn't want to take because there was so many, like they were younger than that. They were young kids. And I was like, wow, it was a whole table of young kids. And I would say they were probably under 13. That was a young group.
Yeah. I was talking to one of the mothers that was there.
It was
She had
amazing
2 daughters. And she said she was shocked that 4-hour game that all the kids hung in and were enthralled for the whole thing. So he did an amazing job with it. So, and that's good, because that's more gamers, because we need more gamers.
Yeah.
Right? So,
I tell you, hook them in.
Yeah.
Keep them interested.
We do that at our con too. We have kids games on Friday. We have a big game for all the kids there. They can all come and play. We found, that is the future. I turned 60 this year. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be doing this. Well, until they put me in the ground, but you know what I mean? It's you want to hand it off, right? You want to instill the love that we have for it to another generation, so it's important. So.
Yeah, there were quite a few kids there that, like I said, I mean, seeing them all at one table was awesome.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. That is the future of the hobby. And I'm glad to see them at a small con, where they're going to see a lot of different games that you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice to see them. I don't know what they were playing behind us. I didn't pay attention to that, but with a con like ShireCon, where there's it's mostly like older school games, and you can introduce them to those, and they'll like them. Like they're very. From my own experience teaching my son how to play when he was about the same age, they're like clay. Like you can shape them the way you want to shape them. Like you raise kids, right? You shape them the way you want.
They come with an enthusiasm that really is infectious for us old farts sitting at the table as well. I know at CNY I was running that Fallout game, and we had the one young kid that he was maybe 12, 13 years old, and he became Buzzsaw because he was playing a robot with a robotic rotary saw, and that became
he got right into it too.
Oh yeah, he got really into it, and he was very effective with it. He was making great rolls, and he had this glee on his face. And I'm sitting there, I was like, well, wow, I wasn't anticipating that Fallout would be this violent. And then he's like, but he took it.
Certainly was.
Thankfully, he was playing with his father as well. So, but it opened my eyes to the fact that when you're running games, and obviously you're gonna run a game that anyone can come to your table, because you don't know who's coming to your table. And that's the other really important thing to remember if you're going to go to a convention for your first time. And if you're looking to run for the first time, you have to be prepared to be inviting to anyone that's coming to your table, and young or old, but particularly if you have young players coming to your table, if you have to modify.
Oh yeah.
You got to be quick on your feet in order to do that. So you could always tone something down, or always amp up, on the fly. You have to be fast on your feet when you're running at a convention, because things happen in conventions. And and you have to make it turn out to be fun, even if you have a total party wipe. Be quick on your
Yeah.
feet to get everybody back into it again. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it takes to get them right back into gaming, especially if you have a lot of time left. Get them right back in. I know Takata was mentioning that I think Jeff had at least one table that was a total party wipe. I don't know if that was yours. That was your table,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, we all died. It
Yeah.
was great.
So, and I know I invited Jeff to come here, but he said he's going to be on his way because spent the extra day and he's traveling
Yeah.
home today. So,
Yeah. Yeah, a bunch of them are.
but eventually I'm going to have Jeff on the channel so he can
Oh, good.
talk
Yeah,
about
he's a great
Emporia
dude.
and everything. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he
Really
is.
enjoyed,
Yeah.
talking to him.
He's a really good dude.
Yeah, that was fun. That
Yeah.
one of the, like you, Scott, you'd mentioned earlier about the social aspect of it, and this is only my third con, so I'm a
Yep.
white belt in con attendance and experience. So, but one of the things I noticed, because for me, like when I have I play games at home and stuff, and I have multiple groups, and I'm very fortunate. But I'm like more of a like I have to be focused and immersed and for me to really get into it, and that can be harder to do at a con because there's a
Yes.
billion people, and it's loud and stuff. And one of the things I kind of came to a realization at this con, I had fun in all my games, but one of the things for me personally, I realized that I think it's actually the social aspect that I enjoy more than the
Yeah.
gaming.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
after we had a short game on Saturday to finish off, Rich and I did, and
Yep.
I was just hanging out. Like I was hanging out with other YouTube people that
Yep.
I'd met, like Eric Tenkar. I'd met him at
Yep.
CNY and hung out with him, and so I was doing that again. And then Joe the lawyer,
Yep.
Mhm.
I
I met
follow
him for
his.
the first time at this one.
Yeah, I'd never met him in person. I've been following his channel since he started it. So we've, in video comments and stuff, we've, acknowledged each other, but I got to meet him and hang out with him. We had lunch together and just hung out. And I was
Yep.
like, yeah, I think this is the part that I actually get
Right.
even more enjoyment out of.
I
The
gotta be
games are
honest.
fun but I
Yeah.
may drop, like for me personally, I was thinking, because I do like I do two games a day, and I'm like I
Yep.
may drop down to one and just
And
then
hang
just
out.
kind of
Yeah.
social butterfly for a while,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I honestly have to say, and I've been going to cons for, oh my God, over 30 years. And I have friends that I've met 30 years ago that I still game with once in a while at a con
that's
or
awesome.
online or at my house. I had gaming events here. Matter of fact, I had one here last weekend, about 30 people. So
Nice.
there are friends for life you can make,
Right.
and I found that I am very rich in the people that I know.
Yeah,
That's the
I
best
mean
way I can.
those
I've
connections
met
that
some
you make.
amazing people. So
Yeah, um, like Eric and I have similar backgrounds and from our previous lives, so we have that connection, and that's how we kind of got introduced at CNY, and which was great. And then today,
that's
yesterday we
great.
were
That's
swapping stories
Roger's
and
thing,
stuff.
right? CNY.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
didn't get a chance
yeah,
to go this year, but I did.
that was really fun.
When
That was
Roger was
great fun.
starting up. I talked to him for a couple hours, try to help him out, right? Because that's what it's about too, right? Together
Yep.
we all rise, So
It's
Mel Gibson face.
Did you get one of you got one of Roger's new flyers, right? I'm pretty sure I gave you one too.
I did. Yes, I
Yeah.
did. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, I
So
think I got a couple of them.
yeah, I got a huge stack of them now. Yeah, I think I gave you like 4 or 5 of them, and I'm gonna bring a bunch with me to
Yeah, please do.
Rising Phoenix to
Yeah.
hand them out at my table and everything.
Yeah,
So
We
he
can
gave
put
me
some
a
out
ton of
for
those
him.
things, so
I'll
I
be
split
glad
them up
to.
between you and Eric Tenkar,
yeah,
and I was like,
Yeah.
"Here you
yeah.
go, fellas."
So yeah, every convention I go to, I'll be bringing them along with me, and just if so my next convention, like what you guys were saying, is my next. I'm only going for the one day, because the second day is a half, and even though it's only like an hour and 20-minute drive, to me, I'm not going to drive 2.5 hours for basically a 4-hour block of game time.
Where
So
you going?
that is it's in Massachusetts, and
Oh, is it Arcane?
um It's Ribian Games. Let's see.
Yes.
Dire Consequences.
Okay, yeah,
Dire
this is his
Consequences.
first one. Yeah,
It's his
I'm
first one in
gonna
a
try to
long
make it too.
time. Yeah, yeah. I believe they did it for like 20 plus years prior to that.
He did last year. He brought his campaign system to our con and ran a bunch of games.
Right? Yeah, it's called
Yeah, Christopher
Burn 2D6.
Ravlin.
Yeah, it's called Burn 2D6. So yeah, so I will be attending that just for the one day for the Saturday, November 1st, and I'm just playing, So
Yeah.
I'm playing in one of their games is a almost like a cartoon superhero kind of game, so kind of like Toon with like a superhero touch to it, and then a Mothership, which will be my first time.
Mothership's a fun game.
Yeah, be my
Yep,
first
that is a
time
fun
playing
game. I
that,
played that.
and so yeah, I'm
Don't get
looking forward
attached to your
that.
character.
Yeah,
No.
Dire Consequences is in Bristol, Connecticut. Oh yeah, it's in Massachusetts, in Connecticut. Thank you. Oh, you'll be there as well. Cool. Yeah. So see if you can get into one of the games that I'll be playing in, Corey.
And that's what it is right there. You just saw it.
Yeah.
Stan, you just saw it. So Corey, if he comes back, him and Rich, there's another connection, So
Yep.
Yeah, another convention tied into the loop.
So
hey, Agile, how's it going? Eventually, I would love to end up meeting you in person as well at a convention. Maybe it'll be. I know you're.
I
out
know
there.
Peter well.
Yeah. Peter. Peter is. I met Peter for the first time in person at
awesome DM. Awesome gentleman.
And he's a great fill-in DM too, because that was the game that we played in.
Yes,
we're supposed to be playing in.
He stepped up and jumped in for his.
I was supposed to be playing in an Aliens RPG, which would have been my first time, and then he took it over and he ran his adventure written for Savage Worlds. But it was still very similar to the same kind of theme. It was a dark science fiction survival kind of game. So it was practically aliens anyway. So we really enjoyed that. And
I played in one of Peter's games at Carnage last year, and we were all kids. We were all like 7 or 8 year old, 10-year-old kids, and we had to solve this big thing on this island. It was we had such a fun time, and it was all like you had to use like music and different things. That it was such a fun game. He's a great GM. So.
Yeah, I believe Peter is local to you.
He lives in right around the Worcester area. So Worcester, Mass.
Yeah, which is
he lives in Mass?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Because FriendCon is in Portland. Actually, a friend of mine that I do jujitsu with organizes that.
What's the name of the con?
It's called FriendCon.
Huh.
It's they do it in Portland, Maine.
Is it new?
I think they've done it for a few years. I don't think it's like super big.
All I know is I know SnowCon up in Maine. That's a pretty good size one.
Yeah, I've never been to that one. I got invited to FriendCon because my friend Chuck, who I train jujitsu with, he's like, oh, I saw him. He's like, FriendCon's this weekend, and I'm like, that's great, but I'm going to ShireCon. I want to get to FriendCon one of these times, though. Chuck's good people.
So that's good to hear, Pete. Good luck with the Kickstarter.
Yeah. Let me know. Before launch, during launch, while you've launched, and then just like the last moment, if you want to come on and really pitch it, I'll certainly give you that time to pitch your adventure, and it'd be good to talk to you too.
Yeah,
and that'll be happening before Rising Phoenix. So that'll be great. And let me see. Hey, Ultra American Hunter, how's it going? Hunter, I wanted to reach out to you and see if you're available for either my Thursday morning Gangbusters game, or I might have an opening, or I think I do have an opening for my Tuesday night Castles and Crusades game if you want to jump in on that. So yeah, just reach out. I don't know what's going to happen with the Saturday game. We'll see what's going on with that. But if you're available Thursday mornings, Eastern time, 9 a.m. Eastern time to like 11:30 for Gangbusters, or Tuesday nights, I want to say like 8:30 to about 11 on Tuesday nights. Just let me know. I'd love to get you into one of those two games.
There's an old school game, Gangbusters, huh?
Yeah, I'm running the new release of it.
Oh,
So
cool.
I'm running the one that was written primarily by Mark Hunt. So this is the new one. It's the
That's nice looking.
BX edition. Oh yeah, it's he really expanded it from the previous edition of it, and now it's put out by Wizard Tower Games.
Oh, cool.
So he's linked up with Don Samora from Wizard Tower Games and putting that out there. So
yeah, Don's a good guy.
Yeah, Don's a good guy. Mark is a great guy, and really looking forward to running that. I'm going to be doing I'm going to be running a criminal campaign. So they'll be looking to set up their own organized crime crew and see how long they survive doing it. So should be a lot of fun. Let's see how many folks in attendance. I don't know yet. So we're waiting on, if Tom does come on, Tom will certainly mention that. And
I guess about 150, 140.
Yeah, I think
it was my guess.
Probably about 150. He did have a few cancellations, for various issues people had. I know some people got sick just beforehand.
Happens every time.
Yeah, happens every time.
You lose 1 to 2%.
Yeah.
Any event, not just a con. Any event, you lose
1 to
2%.
So. I sadly work early mornings Tuesday through Friday, so unfortunately can't play morning Gangbusters. But hey, Tuesday night, if you can make it, that'll be awesome. So anyway, let's see. Since I mentioned it, Peter, I'll let you finish off of that, unless you're talking about coming on. Let me know. Reach out to me and let me know when the Kickstarter is going to start. You can send that to me in Facebook, and then we'll set something up. I'll have
give me a poke too, Pete.
Yeah,
I'll put it up. So.
I'll have you come on the Sunday before it launches. That would be perfect. Rob Connolly got the flu or something like that, or just cold or something. So I know Eric told us about that. So. And he runs games when he does go. But I think all of those players got to go someplace else, which is another great thing about all of like these smaller cons and everything. I know that Scott does the same thing. It's like they have tables sometimes. If you're looking for a game, you can go there, and then whether it's
find you a seat. So.
Yeah, whether it's the coordinators or their staff members are working there, and they'll see, hey, if a table only has 2 seats, 2 seats there, and they have 4 open seats, they'll go around and see, hey, does anybody want to join in on this game? Well,
it's important. You go to a con, you sign up for your games ahead of time, and like somebody's going to get sick. Last year we had 98. We call them hosts, so 98 game masters, panelists, people running stuff. So 1 or 2 are not going to make it. It's just the law of averages. So there's going to be some games, and sometimes you don't find out until that day. So we have a thing where we do is like I'll task some folks to be like backup GMs, and they've got some game, and if they've got a spot open, they'll, hey, can you jump in here? Can you jump in there? Or we have a section. You can, if you're looking for a game, you stand there, you go over there, somebody will take you to a seat. You might not get the game you were supposed to be in or the game you're looking for, but we will put you in a game. So
and that's the other thing, as far as someone who runs games a lot at conventions, I always have room for one more, so it's like, even though I stopped making tables for 5, because 6 is always the best because someone might not show up anyway.
Right.
But I can easily take 7.
Yeah.
And so that's something that, as a rule, I kind of build into my own, my own head.
And as
hey, always be prepared.
And as a
Bring one
con
more.
runner, I know that about you. So I know that if I get a guy who's looking for a game, I can stick him in your game. So
always welcome. And to back to Takado's point, when you are running a lot of games at conventions, I think it really is important to, free yourself up for some gap, in there that you're like, hey, you know what? So even if I take a 4-hour gap in between a morning game and an evening game, that's not going to be wasted time.
Yeah.
Because then you get to just go around and see other people, or, have a quick bite.
We did that at CNY. I did that on, was it the first day?
Yeah, it was the first day.
The first day.
Break.
I played in the morning, and then I took the middle session off, and then finished out the night playing Fallout with you. And that was great. Like we hung out and got food and just socialized
visit
with
the
people,
vendors. There's all
visit the vendors and just 3 games. I've done 3 games in a day, and it's too much for me. And I'm starting to think at cons 2 is too much for me too. Like I'd rather just play 1.
So this is for you.
Maybe run a game. I'd like to run a game. I've never done that.
No, you got some work there.
You got some work.
No, I'll take it. I need it. I'm retired. So
me too.
Hit me up.
Congratulations.
Hit me up, Agile, and we'll work something out. We'll figure it out.
Hey, since you're both retired, if either of you are looking to play Gangbusters on a Thursday morning, you're always welcome to jump
I will
in.
think about it. He runs a great game. I will say that I had a lot of fun in Rich's game when I played online with him. I will think about it, but I am like the next 2 months, I'm literally straight out. So
that's cool.
That's not quite how we got introduced, but I did early on. I played some games with Rich. We were playing some games, and we got introduced through other means, but that we won't get into. But great game, man. And I've played in person 2 or 3 times with you. Yeah, at least 3 times with you.
It's 3 times now. Yeah,
great game.
2 different cons, 3 times, and I see that continuing on.
That's like I have 2 goals. Like when I so far again white belt at cons. But like it's
I like the way you say that.
Places,
that's kind of cool. I like that terminology. White belt at cons. I want to remember
that's that. That's me. I recognize where I'm at. I want to play something I haven't played before. So like this time it was Against the Dark Master. I've looked at the book, but I'd never played it. And then I want to play with like Rich and if I can get into Jeff Talanian's game and stuff like that, I'll do that. But I'm pretty lucky as far as like my gaming goes. Like I have 3 different groups. Like I have 2 weekly groups and a group that meets twice a month. Yeah. So I'm like, it's not like I'm really hurting for games. Like I understand some people, like maybe that's the only chance they get to play in person games.
That is true. Some people that is their outlet. Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't have that same experience. So it's like I don't need to like cram game. I don't need to cram games. That's kind of the realization that I came to this weekend.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly right, Corey.
Yeah, no, that's great. They were great about that. Like I saw Tom talking to Eric about it, and because Eric was going to take on like 8 or 9 people, and Tom was like, "Well, we can always like
spread them around,
to other tables and stuff, and whatever you want to do." And and I saw that at CNY they had a game master that didn't show, and they were running around like trying to find games for that somebody to run a game for those people, and somebody did. Stepped up and ran a game for him. So
and it's important because especially with like if you use TTE, by the time the person gets there and gets to the table and realizes there's an issue, a lot of games are starting, right? So you have to be quick. You have to have a plan in place ahead of time. So how do you help these people out so they don't go, oh gee, I just wasted a 4-hour slot. Right, because I've only got say you go to a con and you're there for 2 days, Friday and Saturday. So you come in at Friday at say noon. So now you got five game possibilities, right? So basically, and if you lose one, you're like, well, that's 20% of my gaming.
Right, yeah.
So You got to be on top of it. We've tried a bunch of different things, so this will be our 5th year coming up. And now that we've got a plan in place, it's working a lot better. So,
real quick, Death Angels. Sometimes YouTube, it's hard to get links put out on YouTube. Sometimes they treat links initially as spam, and so if you're trying to send links to each other, they'll block them.
We had that happen with some of our ads last year.
Yeah, YouTube has always been like a little bit iffy on links.
Yeah.
The only time they don't mess with links is when you put them in your descriptions. Other than that, they try to avoid links.
That's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's sometimes they get through, but a lot of times, I'd say probably more than 80% of the time, they're going to get filtered out.
They get flagged.
Yeah.
And they think it's like just advertising, and they dump it. So
yeah, because I haven't seen a Russian sex bot in a long time. So
I think we fought one Saturday night. No.
So let's see. Anything else come up in the chat that I want to focus on? So. No, and all of these people, I mean, everybody that's been in the chat so far, well, except for Death Angel. So I'm hoping to run into Death Angel sometime at a convention as well. He's way down yonder there. So, but hopefully he makes his way up to Philadelphia is probably the closest one for him to get to.
Is he down like Florida?
No, he's in Arkansas.
Oh yeah, he's down
Arkansas. I believe he's in Arkansas, or Alabama, or one of those places. He's going to correct me in a second. Yeah, he's maybe he's Tennessee as well. He's one of those states, one of those ones right down there. Ultra said he's not seeing your messages. No links in my posts. I don't know. Maybe he has it blocked. Have you been harassing him lately? East Tennessee. Tennessee. Yeah. So Hunter might have to just double check his filters to see that he's not, accidentally blocking you. That's another thing that sometimes happens. Oh, you're from Arkansas. Yeah, you're all over the place. That's a ham radio hobby that you have there. So you're very flexible where you can move around to. Always staying in touch, right? So what's the next con for you, Scott? Your own, or you have something in between?
Yeah, I would have gone to Carnage, but I'm actually going on. I'm going to Aruba. So I will not go. No,
create a con in Aruba, right?
But yeah, the next con for me is probably mine.
Yeah.
So,
and Ducato, yours?
I actually just signed up for this one.
OSR Con.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
That's
so one day
for us.
I just signed up for that.
1 day, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 1 day. It's like 2 hours from my house. So I'm actually thinking I'm going to go down the night before because it starts at like 8.
Yeah.
So I don't want to battle that traffic to Massachusetts at the wee hours of the morning. So I'll probably go down the night before and then just drive home afterwards because it goes from 8 until 10 o'clock.
Were those guys at ShireCon or just their cards were?
What's that?
Were the guys for OSR Con there at ShireCon or?
I just saw a card. I have a card too. So.
Yep. So they got right now, they have for guests, they have Jeff Talanian, Del Tiegler, who does a lot of the art for Hyperborea.
He's good
Ian McGuire, yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Tom is going to be a guest there, and Matt Roberts. So
cool.
It's a friend of. I asked Jeff about it because he had a card on his booth, and he's like, it's a friend of his that's setting doing the con. So
cool.
It's the first time they've done it.
First year is always tough. So
yeah, it
Carnage,
should be interesting.
Total, and Rising Phoenix for
I actually made a mistake. I was thinking for some reason that I'm going to Page in January.
Hmm.
I'm going to TotalCon in February, and then ArcCon in
Okay.
April. So
I may go to I don't know yet. I may go to TotalCon because
TotalCon's a
my
great con. It's a good sized
I have a
con.
I have a
1,400.
friend that goes his here the game store goes and he can bring me in that way. So
Cool.
I don't know.
Yeah, no,
It'll
it's a
depend. I
fun
haven't
con.
looked at it. So yeah, and
Steve
everybody
Parental that
there.
runs it was at ShireCon on
Mm.
Saturday. So
Yeah, at ShireCon, a lot of people talked about it, and they all were
yeah,
like, "It's a lot of fun." So
I've been going to TotalCon for well, I'll be 23 years, something like that. I actually met my wife there. So
oh, huh.
yeah, many years ago, and
Yeah,
I run their flea market right now. I've been doing that for about 12 years. So
yeah, I'd like to go. It'll depend because my home gaming group we do annual gaming weekend, and usually we do it like during February. We've been the last few years. We'll do it during like February school break because my son's in
yeah,
college. So
All right.
we'll from Thursday to Friday we get together and game and hang out. So
cool.
um, that might keep me from going just
Right.
because I organize all that and it's not a con, but it's like herding 7 different cats all at the same time.
Well, you're
So
welcome to come down to Rising Phoenix, man.
thanks.
Yeah, a TotalCon. I did TotalCon as a virtual con. That
Oh,
would
that
have
was the
probably been,
COVID year. Yeah.
yeah, the COVID year. I
Yep.
did TotalCon during the COVID year, just like I did the uh, the D&D one, the old school D&D one, Legends and um, oh, what the heck was
Legends and Layers.
it? No, I have to. It's the one that Luke Gygax runs.
Oh, Gary Con.
Gary Con.
No, it wasn't Gary Con. It was the other one.
Oh,
Founders and Legends.
yeah.
Founders and Legends.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, so that was one that I did. I did like 3 or 4 cons during that first year of COVID. Um, so you're going back to those. Let's see. I can look at my whole list of, let's do 40 cons and see. I haven't done 40 cons. Going back
Carnage is in
was
Vermont, right?
virtual Kobold Con
Hmm.
was the first one. The Crown City Con was the one that got canceled. That was supposed to be in September of 2018, and that got canceled for other reasons. That was pre-COVID. Then virtual Kobold Con. Con of Champions was another one that I went to,
Oh yeah, I remember
virtual,
that.
and that was in 2020. Founders and Legends was 2020.
We
Virtual
were supposed to be in
Greyhawk
2020.
Con was
So
2021, and then my first physical con, I have it here, was ShireCon 2022.
yep.
I missed VentureCon that year for that was supposed to be in July of 2022. So I think that was just after we were done and I couldn't make it
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, we were supposed to start in
it was-
2020, and
Yeah.
TotalCon went off in February, and we were supposed to go off in April, and we were 3 weeks out when we pulled the plug because COVID
Yeah.
just like slammed into everybody. So, and then we took a year off, and we came back in 22. So
Yeah. So let's see. I'm getting different. I'm getting different comments in both YouTube and on this here. So let me check my YouTube comments and see if any are different, or it's going faster to YouTube. So I see some people mention, Peter, thanks a lot, Founders and Legends. So they're getting caught up over there. And there it is. Yeah, there's a little bit of lag in between the two, which is interesting. So anyway, we're coming up on, at the 1 hour mark, I'll give out the last of the 3 memberships I have for the month, and see what else. So let's see. Hey, Mike, how's it going? How's it going? Good to see you. And if anybody wants to join in, I thought I heard a ping earlier on, But if anybody wants to join in and just talk about your con experience, especially if you were at ShireCon, um, please feel free to jump in and chat about it. Yeah, ShireCon was definitely a great experience. Um, they focus on gaming, and that's the other thing that I really like about it is that it's core. I'd say about 90% of its focus is on gaming, if not even slightly higher. They do have vending, and the vendors are great, and they're right there in the same room that the gaming is taking place in. Um, there's not an overabundance of vendors either, and and the fact that they're right there and they're right next to their tables and everything gives them, I think, an opportunity to play as well, because I know that they were alternating and playing out, and looks like there was a lot of coordination between them. Hey, watch my table while I go play. And so they were doing that. Ian was doing that with Jeffrey Talanian, and Ian was doing that with the guy next door to him. That would have been Jason Elliott. So yeah, Jason Elliott was there as well.
Yeah.
I picked up Top Secret New World Order, the box set, for that. And for that, really looking forward to jumping in on that as well.
And Chet got to play ran a game. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, Chet ran that.
Yeah, they had some good stuff. I somehow missed them last year. I didn't check their thing out, but I got over there this weekend. They had some good stuff. I left with some of it.
Yep. You'll have more as time goes on.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, oh, it seems like there's less vendors here this year, but I still spent all my money, so I guess it's okay.
Yeah,
because it goes to a great cause, right?
Yeah. That was the other thing that Tom did there was some of their auctions, or at least one of their main auctions, raised up like $2,000 or something
for the VFW hall.
Yeah, like $2,000 for the VFW. That's phenomenal. And that's really and that was not just from the auction sales, but that was also donations at the same time as well.
And some of the items they had for the auction that were donated were really nice items.
Yeah,
there was some beautiful stuff there.
One of the times I'm gonna have to bring a bunch of my stuff and donate it, because I have a whole bunch of stuff that it's time to clear out and make some room on the shelves, for things that I'm actually playing and using. So or if I wasn't at work, you can jump in if you're, hey, take a quick break from work and I jump in, now I get it. And let's see, another recommendations for fall and winter con is in the fall and winter time. Well, I just gave you all the ones that I know of in the fall and the winter. Game
Holes. I want to say it's in September. I could be wrong. I went to Game Hold. Awesome big con, 5,000 people. Feels like a small con. Very well run. Awesome games, great people.
Game Hold is in October.
Okay.
October 16th and 19th. Yeah. There's Arnicon.
But Game Hole's a fun con if you can make it down there. It's in, I know it's at the Allegiance Convention Center in Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah, Arnicon is actually coming up on October 10th to 12th. So that's the estate of Dave Arneson, and that location is Minneapolis, Minnesota. So that's coming up in October 10th to 12th.
And Total Con's in February. Another great con. Local
Total Con's in February, and Dire Consequences is in November. So yeah, there's a lot of cons.
Page in January. So
yeah, you have Venture Con in Madison, Wisconsin. I know is he's doing a virtual con and then his in-person con. I got to see when his virtual con is coming up. That I will certainly make. Is Let's see. So the virtual con is going to be in January 9th through 11th. Friday, January 9th through Sunday, January 11th, virtual con. So yeah, if you don't mind playing virtually and everything, there's another con there. Yeah, that one I got to definitely follow through on. So let's see. What do you guys recommend? So yeah, so there's a lot. I mean, just go in there, go into like tabletop events and, put that range in there, or just see what the next 6 months of conventions are coming up.
Where does Mike live? He asked a question. I don't know where he lives. So
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know where Mike lives. Yeah, because that's another thing that's really dependent on
yeah,
which
especially if
cons
it's
to
your
go
first
to.
con, you probably want something that you could drive to.
Yes.
So,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And I would go with the plan on just playing first.
Yeah.
And make sure you build yourself in a little gap, because it's hard to, it's hard to sit there if you have 12 hours worth of gaming, for one day. It is a monumental task. Hey, Death's Angel, how's it going?
Doing all right. Doing all right.
How you doing, man?
Oh, I feel like I need a shower. I was out mowing the grass, and I've been listening for since about 20 after. I was trying to get it done before, but also before you started, Richard.
Yeah,
But
no, that's
I got too much grass to mow, I guess.
yeah. North Texas is another great convention to go to.
Yep.
Not in my wheelhouse.
Radius.
Yeah, just too
Yeah.
far. Yeah.
Yeah.
By Central New York every year, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Roger's a great guy.
Honestly.
I
So
talked
you're
to
in
him.
Western Washington State. So if you're in Western Washington State, then all of those Midwestern cons are, probably your closest bet.
There's got to be something in out there in Washington or in Seattle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Seattle's got to have some local smaller cons. Try, if you're gonna first con, don't go to a giant con. Go to something small.
Yeah, go something small.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it more. You'll get lost and overwhelmed in a big con, and you'll be like, "This is terrible. There's too many people."
And big cons are too vendor focused anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's what that's the problem I've got around here is, well, first of all, I didn't, I think we talked before. I didn't grow up in this area. I grew up down in Florida. So, we had MegaCon and all kinds of stuff down there, but never went to any of those. And first con I went to was this year earlier in Knoxville, but it was also like a tournament for like Warhammer and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's not my style of gaming, but nothing wrong with it. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm looking around and trying to find places. There's one going on next month down just north of Atlanta. That's by Level Up Games. It's called LugCon. I took off. It's supposed to be a 4-day event. We'll see. We'll see. If I can actually do that.
Yeah, Ultra American. I'm not seeing your comments on the YouTube side either.
Yeah, I didn't see any ultras.
Yeah,
I don't know where Agile was.
It's on their end.
I think he must have been on a different platform at first, because I
Agile.
didn't see him when I went back to look at him.
Yeah, you're coming on here through Restream. You're coming on here through Paired, but for some reason, you're not coming in on the YouTube side.
It's the tech thing.
Yeah,
I'm like, anybody read the Dresden novels?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like Dresden.
Mm.
Me and Tech don't get along at all. So-
I see. I'm an IT guy. So.
oh, okay.
I have the John McClane mentality. I think it peaked at frozen pizza, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
we should just left off after that.
That's
Yeah.
kind of what. Yeah, the smaller cons is what kind of like what I'm looking to go to. I mean, I
Mhm.
think LugCon is going to be a little bigger because it's sponsored by a company that sells games, and it has, I think, multiple stores in the Atlanta metro area. So
Is it a miniatures company? Is it like, because I heard you mention Warhammer?
no, it's by Level Up Games.
Huh.
So
Oh,
Level Up games.
They sound vaguely familiar to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Level Up games I've heard of.
yeah,
are
I
they the
think
ones? I gotta look something up.
Are they
now.
I think-
they board games?
well they sell everything. I mean,
Okay.
they're a vendor, they're a retailer.
Yeah.
They're a retail outlet.
Oh, okay.
They're like a chain of your FLGSs
Oh,
as
okay.
opposed to an independent type.
Mm.
That's my understanding. I've never been in one, although I think they may have had a store in Knoxville when I first moved up here.
Mm.
And of course, I moved up here in 2020 in February. We all know what happened in March.
Yep.
There was one game store that was supposed, that was kind of a little local thing. I think it was supposed to be called the Dented Mug or something like that, and they managed to open. They were getting ready to open, and then of course everything got shut down, and
Yeah.
they had all their own custom made gaming tables and stuff like that, and it just was
That's
like,
too bad.
yeah, they couldn't survive it.
A lot of companies, a lot of small companies, not just in the gaming. A lot of small companies went down. So
Yeah.
a lot of small restaurants too. So
Oh yeah. Well, there's still. I mean, even some of the fast food places around here, they're closed at like 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. some days
Yep.
because they don't have people working.
We have that still here.
I miss the old days of going to Walmart at 3 in the morning.
And then there goes the five free memberships. So Fiatas, congrats. Bob Vecna, congrats. Mike, congratulations. Robert, and Seekers Hollow. That's a new face I haven't or name I haven't seen. So congratulations all, and you're welcome to join the Discord and check that out. And you can also go to my X account and follow me over there, and of course here on Facebook as well, which you already know. Not Facebook, YouTube. Facebook, I'm on Facebook as well, but
I get in trouble
I'm
on
jumping
Facebook.
on some gaming. What's that, Death Angels?
I said I get in trouble on Facebook.
Yeah, the other things I can get in trouble in X as well.
Yeah.
Although it's been quite some time, but I'm a little bit more cautious now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
X.
I just don't get it. Well, it's not just that, but there are so many people that couldn't keep the politics out of things. And it's like people I gamed with for 20 years. It's like, really, you're gonna hate me now because I don't believe the same things you do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is actually the one place that I'm less political than I am on the other places, and I should try to clean that up too, and just not get dragged into so much.
that's what I do.
There.
That's what I just get on Facebook, and I may see a couple of things. I try to recruit some folks for. I've been trying to do set up some local in-person games for well, a while now, since pretty much past couple of years since we bought the house here. And so I found a couple of groups, and I posted some things, and I get one or two people that are interested, but if they're going to drive an hour, if they live an hour away, I can't guarantee that they're going to become reliable. Not saying that they wouldn't be. It's like, you know, and it gets frustrating. It gets frustrating.
Well, yeah, I did a whole stream about that. You know, when you go to a convention, leave your politics at the door.
Yeah.
Because you're there to play a game.
Yeah,
You
your
know,
commonality is you're all gamers.
yeah,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got
you're all
that
gamers.
one.
You're there to play a game. You know, and I have the same message for people who are running games, who are playing games, and convention organizers as well. And just because they were saying, how should a convention organizer respond or react if and Scott being here too, is perfect, perfect person to turn to, so I had somebody who was, mentioning that they were going to go to a convention wearing, an anti-Trump shirt, let's say. And I was like,
We're just asking for it.
even if you're fairly certain that, you know, 60, 70, even 80% of the people there might agree with you, the convention organizer shouldn't, because
They should be.
you're not there to game.
It's not about politics.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to leave that.
You're trying to turn it into that.
When you sit down at a table with 6 strangers, chances are every one of them has a different job.
There are going to be 8 opinions.
Has a different living experience than you, and probably a different political view than you. So leave that stuff out. If and then your commonality is you're all going to play a game together, and you're going to be like an elf or this or that. It does. The rest of it doesn't matter for that 4-hour period. That 4-hour period, you're all in the same stuff together. You're like, we're going to get through this, right?
Yeah.
And I've met people that I know are on the opposite side from me, and I'm very good friends with them.
Right.
Because, we talked about it. We're like, yeah, well, we don't agree on that, but I love gaming with you. You're an awesome gamer, So,
right. Yeah. So what's your character doing next?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
The way we look at it is, as from the con point of view, everyone's welcome, and everyone should feel safe believing whatever they believe.
Yeah.
So let's leave that stuff out, and let's do the thing we play together. Is the game? That's why we're there. We're not going there for any other reason except to game.
Yeah.
So let's just concentrate on that, right? So,
right.
And everyone should feel welcome, and if somebody doesn't feel welcome, then that's another issue altogether, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I see some of these bigger cons, and when I look at them, and they've got this all, inclusivity statement and this and that and the other, and it's like, well, I would look at it if I ever did one, I think I would have a non-exclusivity statement. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, everybody has to also respect everybody else.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, that's kind of how we look at it. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want everyone to feel comfortable. And we also want, when I say everyone to be invited, everyone to be able to come and feel comfortable. That means that also, that people on the fringes of different groups are welcome too, as long as they respect everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's, I had been saying for quite some time, I'll let Takato jump in too.
All right.
In a moment, but I've been playing with the same group of players. Like some of my players have been with me for going on 4 years now.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you how any of them voted. All right. I can't tell you where any of them really stand. I couldn't tell you what, their orientations are, their, whatnot. I mean, sure, I might know that, this one's married and has kids or whatever, but, even that sometimes is not it's not a all out, know this for a fact either. So it's, but at my table, it doesn't come up.
Right.
It never has. And at conventions, it's never come up. Never has. And that's the great thing about conventions. If people go there and they're looking for it. What I wanted to ask you, Takato, because you went through you went through a police academy, I'm assuming, or like some kind of a training academy, and any politics there when you were like recruits and just like could you tell, or was that even important? Were you all blue? Like when you in the army, we're all green.
No, I mean that was the thing they were trying to instill in us. That we're all, it's the brotherhood and all that stuff. And no, I mean, you were so worried about making sure your shit was squared away every day that
Yeah.
you didn't have time to dwell on any of that. And if something that, I mean, and that was a different era too. So like, I mean, when the hell did I go? That was a long time ago. So it wasn't, it wasn't like it is now, like it's, nobody cared. Like, yeah, you might think differently than me, but nobody gives a shit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, I actually, so one of my Friday night group is filled with some really great people that are friends of mine, and I am willing to bet, although I have no idea because it's never come up, every one of them has a very different political outlook than I do. But I don't care. I'm friends with all of them, and they're my friends, and that's just stuff that we don't talk about. Like, we're there to game, and even when we're hanging out outside a game, we don't talk about that stuff. There's so much other more enjoyable things to talk about than the current state of affairs of anything. So it just doesn't come up. The only time it's really ever come up is one of my friends that, we play at his house, and he owns our local game store, and he was at some conference, and somehow he's like, I saw him, and he was like, I used you as an example the other day. And they were some I don't know if it was gun control or whatever came up at wherever he was at. And he was like, he's like, I have a friend that was a law enforcement officer for a long time. He's like, I'm willing to bet that his opinion on, this, because it was talking about like dividing people and stuff. He's like, but like his perspective is totally different than mine. Like he had a very different experience in life than he did, so it's different. And he's a great dude. And he's like, yeah, it's just different. Like I don't have the same experience he has, so we should have different opinions probably, and be respectful of each. Like I may not agree with it, but I'm not going to dwell on it, and I'm certainly not going to be not your friend because you think differently than me.
I never understood that. I never understood that
we've seen plenty of
mentality.
examples of people that live in bubbles, right? Like look at Hollywood, like they live in a bubble, and they only see life in pretty much one view. There's a few exceptions, but they don't say anything because if they do, they'll never work.
They'll get blackballed. From the
they have no like perspective on like how like normal people live. They really don't.
They've lost touch. They're not,
usually. I mean, that showed in recent events. So
and normal people are people that aren't in a bubble. So
I actually talked to
there's
Jeff Blaney about this a little bit at the con because it was after our session, or actually it was the next day, and I was just having a conversation with him and talking about his game and the things I love about Hyperborea, and he's like, hey, you on we have a Discord, and I'm like, yeah, I'm on it, I just don't post a lot. And he got talking about that, and he's like, the only real rule we have is like there's no politics, like no politics, no religion. And he's like, and everybody's really cool. He says once in a while we'll get somebody that just cannot help themselves, and then we give them a warning, and if they don't listen to it, we give them the door, and that's the way I think it has to be done.
And you have to be even-handed in that too. You have to kind of you can't let either side do it,
right?
Just because you agree with that side doesn't mean no. It's like no, look, none of that stuff there.
We have that
they don't do it. We don't
in,
want them doing it. We don't want you doing it either.
Like my group, my regular home group, we have like a Facebook chat that we bullshit on, and we have a no politics rule in there because I have one or two friends that are very different views than most of us have, and every once in a while, and I can be guilty of it, I'll slip something into the chat, and then I'll get course corrected by a friend, which is fine. That's what friends are for. And they'll like, hey, and then I'm like, yep, you're right. We don't need to be talking. We got all these other things we can talk about.
Well, that's maturity too that comes with being able to accept that too, instead of just flying off the handle and going, "What are you talking about?" But blah 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 blah. And it's like, no. Look,
you're less likely to run into that. You're less likely to run into that kind of stuff with smaller cons. It really doesn't happen that often.
Yeah, you really got to look to the good stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, when you get together with a bunch of random strangers, and you all want to have a good time, because you wouldn't have drove there, flew there, paid the fees and everything else to sit down at a table with a bunch of people you don't know and argue.
Well, some people might
leave it all behind. You say, hey, right now, while I'm playing this, fighter elf. That's what I am.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm here to kill some goblins and
Yeah,
have
and
a good
have a
time.
fun
So,
time doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
let's
So,
I'm
do
here
it.
to chew bubble gum and kill some
Yeah.
orcs, and I'm all out of bubble gum, right?
yeah.
You just,
Right.
you just reminded me of the Monty Python skit. I'm here for an argument.
Yeah,
Kind of thing. It's like,
Yeah.
oh no, that's next door.
Yeah.
It's like,
So, hey, I got to split soon. If you don't mind, Rich,
Scott,
can I
no,
give a
not at
little
all.
plug?
Scott, thanks for
So,
popping in. And
Can I give a little 5 minutes?
yeah, go
5
plug
second
away
plug?
at
So Rising
Rising
Phoenix
Phoenix.
is coming up. We're going to be this year, April 24th through the 26th. Actually, the 23rd, we do a soft start on Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
This is our 5th year. We got some surprises installed for people. I can't talk about them yet because we're still waiting for a permission to do something. And but if it all goes well, we're gonna have a really special event at the con that people will be able to play in, and you will be able to get prizes from it, from your ability as a player. We're really looking forward to doing this, and I'm hoping that we can. I think we're gonna. I should know in a day or two if we have the space for it. So, last year about 650 people. We'd love to have everybody with us. Panels, we have we're about 65-70% RPGs. We're about 30% role playing games and 5% other stuff. We do yoga in the morning, so you can limber up before you sit down all day. We have tarot card readings. We try to do stuff for people, like if you bring your significant other and they're not a gamer, we try to have stuff for them to do. The hotel's really nice. It's got a pool and the food's decent. Please come and join us. We're kind of like a cross between a Ren Fair and a con. We have a lot of props. I have a special new prop this year that we'll be introducing. It's a kind of a surprise. Everyone fights one when they're first level in D&D. So that might be a hint. So, but yeah, please join us our 5th year. We're really looking forward to it, and we're really looking forward to sharing our love of gaming with everybody. So that's all I got to say. So
Yep, thanks a lot, Scott, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there.
You
I
can
will
check
be
us
there
out
this
online
year.
at www.risingphoenixgamecon.com. There's all kinds of pictures there. Please check us out. Okay. All right, everybody. Hey, it was nice talking to you, Ducato. It was great talking to you, buddy.
Nice talking to you, Scott.
That's
Yep,
Angel.
have a good one.
Have a good night. And I got a split.
All right, take it easy, Scott.
All right, peace.
Take care.
All right, and if anyone else wants to jump in, there is the link. You're welcome to jump in. And so let's see. There was some here. I agree with everyone thus far. We emphasize our differences too much. How about what all of us are working class we have in common? You know what? I haven't gamed with any billionaires, and I haven't gamed with anyone on the other lower end of the
no Hollywood elite.
Yeah. So no Hollywood elite.
Although I think Joe Manganiello would be kind of fun to game with, to be honest.
I would game with him.
I'm sure that he would.
100%.
He's probably he would probably be one of the I guess the most wealthy of players that
of the normal players,
sitting with, because even like the gaming royalty that we might have played with, like I played with Frank Metzner and Alan Hammock and Zeb Cook, and none of them are millionaires. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like so
they're all working stiffs like the rest of us.
Yeah, it's like you'd have to be playing with like the Hollywood, or like when you're going to a Gary Con or something like that. Yeah, you're going to be sitting with somebody and playing with somebody that that has some wealth and everything. But most of us, like the comment said, we're all middle class people. We're generally, this is a hobby for us too.
Right.
It's like we all have other things going on. I don't think anybody, that whole derogatory belief that we're all, 50-year-old trolls sitting in our mother's basement kind of thing.
No, I bought this basement, darn it.
I'd say, yeah, you know, I think probably 95% of us are probably married with kids, and yeah, we might be 50-year-old trolls, but we're,
Yeah.
we might even be, videoing from our basements. But like you said, our basements are finished off, or there are our little gaming areas,
Yeah.
that's dedicated to this kind of a thing. You know, you know, I'm in the extension above the garage kind of thing that's right off from the main bedroom. So this
Yeah.
is a little nook, that is kind of my work gaming space.
Yeah, if the price of lumber would come back down, I'd put up some more walls down here. But yeah, it's something I kind of I told you before that I've gone to what we call in the ham radio hobby, we have what we call ham fest. It's the same
Yeah.
thing as a con.
Yeah.
And every year, like clockwork, for I think 7 or 8 years now, we've been going. There's one over in Huntsville, Alabama, which is only like 3 hour drive from here. When I lived in Florida, it was like a 7 hour drive. But the reason why we like going to that one is what I heard you guys saying before, the camaraderie, and yeah, there's the big one in Dayton, Ohio, every year that people fly in from around the world, and that's where you see, but the one that's in Huntsville, it's like half the time I don't even show up until like noon on the Sunday, which is their last day, and the last drawing for grand prizes is like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so I'm only there for a couple hours because I'm too busy hanging out up at the state park and the campground with everybody else, all my buddies. So it's more of a social event for that one, but and that's kind of what I'm looking for when it comes to some of these smaller cons. If I could just find some that are around here, or even start one, who knows, you know. But
We should. Do you have a home group like that you play with, or I thought I
no,
remember you saying you.
I'm slowly cobbling one together now, slowly.
It takes time, like especially because you moved and stuff. But like I mean, I gamed for years with just like me and my best friend that I grew up with,
Yeah,
and then we added a guy, and then we would add more people, and people would leave, and now for a long time we've had a much bigger group, and I have like other
right.
groups and stuff, so it's really good. But it took a long time to get that way, and then back starting in like 2017, I was like, because we would game very sporadically, like my home group would, and I was like, I want to do, like, I miss the days of like when we were younger and we would just get together for a weekend a month and just game. And
Yeah.
obviously we can't do that every month because people have obligation and wives and stuff like
I
that.
miss I miss every week, but I
Yeah,
haven't
so
done that.
we started doing a yearly thing. I mean, we game all the time, but like we do once a year where we get together and for the whole
Uh,
weekend and just play games and hang out. And it takes some work to make that happen, but it's worth it. Like because I kind of organize it because it's my idea and
yeah.
it's my
I,
family lets me use property to do it and stuff. And so it's a lot of work. Like I have a lot of respect for anybody that organizes an actual convention because I heard, like I said, like 7 cats together and
oh
it,
yeah.
so I
I
don't have
talked
any
I
games.
talked to
It's
Roger
nuts.
from CNYCon. I talked to him on the phone. God, it must have been at least over an hour. Poor guy. But he's a wealth of knowledge, and he was telling me, he studied cons and would take notes, like very,
Yeah,
very like detailed information about every con. Him and his buddy, they would sit there and discuss it on the
yeah,
trip back, what they liked,
yeah.
what they
Him and
didn't
Jason.
like, and he
Yeah.
compiled that information for like 10 years. I'm like, dude, you need to publish a book.
Mhm.
you know
What's the neat thing? Like I was just listening to at ShireCon, Eric Tenkar and Joe
hmm
the
Yeah.
Lawyer did a live stream and Tom was on it. And one of the things Tom talked about was like he would go to these other cons and there was two in particular. One was North Texas. I don't remember the other one, but
Yeah.
like the guy, he would talk to the people that organize it. He's like, "Hey, I want to do this. What are the pitfalls? What should I do? What should I not do?" And he's like, they both told me the exact same thing, and it was 100% true. And that's their like the good ones. Like Scott was the same way. It's like they're all trying to help each other too. So like if
Yeah.
you go to
Yeah.
organize something, they're going to be like, "Oh, you need to do this," or "Don't ever do that," or
Right.
because I mean, at ShireCon, the table was full of like flyers for other conventions. I brought a
Yeah.
bunch and gave them to uh, Bloodworth and Eric Tenkar to hand out, and I handed some out, and they just want to promote other good cons. So
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of wisdom because people have done it before. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? So
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. He's a wealth of knowledge, and
yeah, Roger's a good dude. He put a lot of like I hung out with Roger last weekend for an afternoon, and he was in Maine, and we hung out, and he he put a lot of thought into that convention. A lot of yeah. Yeah. So West Martins is great for that. When I started my Castle Crusades campaign 3 years ago, that's exactly how I did it because my players were like, and I was like, I'm just not going to run games the way I did it before. And helped run West Marches campaigns at our game store. And for anybody that has like scheduling issues, that's in my opinion, it's the best way to do it because
Right.
you play every time it's scheduled. It just doesn't really matter who shows up.
I
Like
thought
if
about
I get
doing one of
one or
those.
two
Like,
people, I'll run a game. I don't. One
Yeah.
person would show up at my house, I'd run a game for them. I don't care. But
Yeah.
um,
Plus
yeah,
the
that
other thing,
works great. We haven't missed a session in
Hmm.
3 years that we played
Yeah.
the game. We haven't missed one session.
Plus the other thing I think is important to remember is having shorter sessions is,
Yeah.
now not quite like, not
No.
quite like our other person, 1 hour sessions. That's a little bit
Yeah.
crazy, but having self-contained sessions, so maybe 2.5 hours or so, and you're start to finish, you're really wrapping up a complete scene, if you will, of what it is, and having
Yeah.
episodic. Sometimes I'll call it episodic, where you can come into it, play it, get back to a safe space, and then somebody else can always come in and join up next time, or and
Yep.
that's kind of a combination of the West Marches style of play, and then integrating it to the virtual the virtual aspects of it, because that works really well in
Yeah.
having that kind of we're only going to play for 2.5 hours, and most people virtually have the time to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We do about. We get together like in my home group
Mm.
on the twice a month group, my CNC group. We get together. Um, Usually, guys will show up at the house around 4:30 because we'll get food and then we'll eat and bullshit for probably an hour, and then
Yeah.
we'll start playing. We'll play until like 10 o'clock, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
And then my Thursday night group, we get together at like 6:30, play till 10, and
Yeah.
but it's usually contained.
That's something
Try
I need to get. I got to get used to these short 4 or 5 hour sessions because I'm used to getting yeah, and maybe I'm getting older too. It's maybe it's
It's hard to
just
find a comfortable seat that's good for 3 hour plus
well
speaking and
well
everything.
and I kid you not, as a player I don't think I've ever played in a game that was less than about 6 hours,
Yeah.
and that's the average is about 8.
Well,
So
you're younger.
no, I'm
So,
not. I'm 52, man.
I know you're younger, right? I'll be 59. Believe me, catches up fast.
Don't look that different.
It's the
50.
it's the seating as the seating's the issue. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Oh, I got that now. I got to stand up. I got my wireless headset. I have to get up while I'm working in the daytime,
yeah,
and
yeah,
walk around because I work from here too. So
yeah. Convention chairs are, with Rising Phoenix, they're regular chairs like you would see in like a hall
yeah,
at a hotel, because those are that's a double tree, so it's a
yeah,
Hilton hotel, so you have comfortable chairs there. but sitting in a folding chair for
Oh
non-cushioned
yeah.
folding chair, especially the plastic ones for for more than 4 hours, you're going to be feeling that shit.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
damn
That's
sure.
what I have right now at my table down in the basement where we play. And one of the things I want to do hopefully next year is buy like all new like nice chairs for everybody
Yeah.
to sit in.
Comfortable,
'Cause,
comfortable.
Believe it or
Yeah.
not, like these computer chairs are not even all that comfortable either
No,
after
they're not.
4 hours.
yeah, they get old
No.
after a while.
Yeah.
We have one old one that the game master sits in, but everybody else is stuck in a plastic folding chair. So I would
Yeah.
like to get like my son has this really nice like gamer's chair, and I'd like to get some of those, but they're not
They're not
they don't
cheap.
give them away. Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't give them away.
No, I was
But
looking
they're
at
super
some.
comfortable.
I was looking at some too because
Mm.
I mean, chairs and I don't. We have a love hate relationship.
Mm.
I've had a lot of chairs that just don't like me, and
Yeah.
I don't know why. They're supposed to be
Yeah, that's
rated
one of the things on
durable and
my
all that.
Christmas list. It's like, after, every 2-3 years, get a new chair because
Yeah,
they
Yeah,
wear
you
out
break
fast.
it down, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be
and
junk.
if you want a good one, you're talking $1,200 or more. And
Yeah,
it's like,
but it's not even, you know, I look to spend like under $100 because I'm throwing it out after 2 years. It's like
yeah, yeah,
it's gonna be done after 2 years.
yeah. But 3 to 4 hours.
Three to
I
four
think
hours, I think, is
that's
ideal.
that's what I'm trying to do with this group.
Mhm.
We figure we'll start gaming about 6 and run until
Yeah.
10, and maybe longer, depending on how
Yeah.
people are.
And
Uh,
conventions tend to last between, I'd say, 3.5 and 4 hours. I know our one session
well,
went very fast.
and they have slots though.
Yeah,
You've got to
yeah,
contain those
yeah, but
in a
yeah,
convention.
our one session, we were close to 3 hours, right, Takato? We were close to 3 hours. Not even. I think we wrapped that up in about 3 hours.
Your
Um,
game?
yeah, my game.
Yeah,
I think it
yeah.
was close to 3 hours, maybe a little bit under. I mean, they just made choices that just brought them to the end, the end boss, basically.
Yeah,
A
we
little bit
did
quicker.
well in that game. Like all my
Yeah,
other
yeah,
games. Well, no, we did well against the Dark Master, but my
yeah,
Shadow Dark and Hyperborea games, we did not do
yeah,
well.
yeah. It was,
Um,
yeah, you guys did well in that.
we
That
got
one
lucky
that
though.
one fight could have gone, a
Oh,
number of ways. Just went in your favor, pretty
yeah,
much. And yeah, the boss battle in that one, that was not mine. And the boss battle in
no,
that went fast. It was like,
the the
you know,
uh, the previous battle was tougher than the boss battle.
yes, yeah, the previous, and that's as written. The previous battle was if you were a party of first level characters, that previous battle would have killed you. That's why they said that by some miracle, the players survived this. I was like,
Would you
like,
step them up to 2 or
well,
second
I
or
had
third
them
level?
start at 2 because the
Yeah,
adventure was from level 1 through 3,
yeah,
and I was like, well, there was only 4 players, at the table, so I was glad that I had done 2.
yeah.
And then
Yeah, that worked
when
out.
when they triggered that particular encounter, the encounter was meant to be a 10 hit die monster, but I was like, well, there's only 4 of them, not 5, so I made it
Yeah.
8, but I kept the hit points up. So there's a difference there, right? You know, the difference between it rolling with a +10 to hit or a +8 to hit is actually, a huge difference.
Right.
So I was like, let me tone that down, and I toned down its bite attack from
Yeah.
2d10 to 2d6 because
Okay.
2d10 would have most
Murdered
likely
us.
killed any of
Yeah,
them.
one hit, and they're gone.
Yeah, one hit and they were gone because the bite only happened if it hit with 2 of its tentacles, which already did D4 each. Its tentacles were underpowered, compared to everything else, but it was all
Yeah.
built around the concept of if it, with a +10 to hit, it was most likely
You're
going
gonna
to
hit.
anybody
Right.
with 2. It really was designed to be a total party killer. If it was a first level party.
First level. Because we
Yeah.
wouldn't
Yeah.
have had the hit points to sustain.
Yeah, you wouldn't have had the hit points to sustain even one attack. You
Right.
know, like I said, with that advantage of hitting with 2 tentacles, you would have done. Let's see, you would have done. So it would have been 2 to 8 for that, and then another 2 to 20 for the bite. So you would have been looking at between 4 and 28 points of damage for a single round. That's on
Been done.
average, you're doing half that. You're going to kill any first level character.
Yeah.
There's none that could sustain that.
How did you run the starter set?
Yeah, that
That
was
is
starter
the
set
starter.
module.
Okay, was that okay? I wasn't sure because
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
was the starter set module.
so yeah. So
Yeah,
did
so
you
I would
skip
definitely.
some of the stuff? Did you skip like some of the areas and get right to the?
No, they pretty much they pretty much
Our
follow the
choices skip
path.
some of the areas. But
Yeah. By choice, they skipped some of the
Okay.
areas, but they pretty much
Yeah.
followed the path. And so they went to
Yeah.
the ruins. They encountered the short encounter in the ruins.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
turned out
okay.
to be a little bit more challenging than I thought that would be too. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that one giant bat hit him for a good chunk.
Yeah.
Now I modified the magic system. So I was using Shadow Darks. You get to cast more often because they would have been depleted with their spells long before they ever got there. You know,
Yeah.
and that's the
It
other
would have happened at the ruins. Like I would
Yeah,
have been out of
you would have
spells.
you would have been done with your spells at the ruins, and you would have been looking to, all right, let's sleep
Let's
overnight.
rest.
And
Yeah.
for to have to go through that and do that kind of a thing in a con convention, now I just try to avoid it. It was like the game we played in when we did the Dark Master. I definitely saw that, and I'm forgetting his first name now. But I definitely saw that what he did was in that he had us fight one fight that was kind of a low level fight just for us to learn how the game mechanics work in combat.
Yeah.
Then he had us go into a second fight, I think, just to burn up some time and to see, like, give us some ideas about, being a little bit more tactical and stealthing and doing that.
Yeah.
And then once he realized that his time slot was like in the last like 35 minutes or so, our next thing was we were crossing a bridge and we encountered the big boss. So however that adventure is originally written, he made sure as a convention game master to give us a beginning, a middle, and an end, and made sure that it was going to conclude with a big boss fight. You know what I'm saying?
He did a good job running that.
Yeah, he did a very good job of running that.
Yeah, he was good. I mean, it's not the system for me, but it
Yeah.
he did a good job running that.
Yeah, he
and
definitely
you're right.
streamlined it for convention play. He did a very, very good job of
Yeah.
time management and experience management as a convention game master.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Patreon game that Chuck did for a couple of us, I think Agile was there, and the one that we did that I think you're itching to sign up for the next one.
Yeah, I gotta see. Like, I'll talk to you offline later to
Yeah.
see, because I don't know how. Like, I joined the Patreon, at that level. I have no idea.
Yeah,
what
we'll
to find
talk
out when they post things. It's like I'm
It's,
on the Discord, and there's no separate Discord area for Patreons. They
there's
just have,
yeah, and there's an area that Chuck pulled us into that added us to for
right.
be able to find some stuff. And we'll talk about
Yeah,
it, but
let me know where that is, because I have no clue.
yeah,
How
he
do you
may
find?
have to pull you into it when
Yeah.
because like I just pulled one of the pre-gens, and I ran the pre-gen wizard. I think it was a human wizard too. But I was the last one to die. Me and all 4 of my hit points, managed to survive until the end. And
Yeah. No, to answer D&D Dad and Son, Scott, ShireCon, I think, has to do with the fact that it's in a very Shire-esque looking area and everything. I'll never forget. It is the most beautiful drive to get there. you know. And I don't know if in Takato, when you were first going there, like if you were coming through the morning, there's this one spot where you go to like an overview, an overlook, and you're looking down into the valley, and down into the valley there was nothing but just cloud cover, you know. And so
Yeah,
as you're coming down into it, and it was like, you know, I'm thinking to myself, it's just such an incredible scenic view, you know. And you're literally the town itself is so buried inside a valley, and I think that's where ShireCon probably comes from. It's just
it has something to do with the dates. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the dates too that he picks. I don't remember what they in Tolkien what they represent. I don't know if it's Bilbo's birthday I've heard him say it before on
oh yeah, yeah.
a
So yeah, I have
video,
no idea.
but yeah,
Uh,
it's a super like beautiful area. I mean,
yeah,
my route in wasn't as great, but from the Bates Motel I
yeah.
was staying at,
The
the
Bates
drive-in
Motel.
but when I left, I went a different way. I didn't come in the same way. I
Right,
actually
right.
went home the same way I went last year, and that was nice because for quite a while it was all rural. So I was going through like these little, very nice
Yeah,
villages and towns and
mhm,
stuff, and it's a beautiful area,
yeah,
um, except for that motel I stayed in.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
was awful.
Motel hell.
Oh
Yeah,
Well,
God, that place was awful.
that's the thing. If I do something around here, it would definitely want to, you know. And I already have a couple people who be like, "Oh yeah, man, count me in if you do something."
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. I
"Yeah,
was looking at a map earlier to see like what hotels are in that general area, you know, and there are some. I mean, there's like regular
Yeah,
hotels,
yeah."
um, you know, that are, you know, probably within 40 minutes to an hour, because there are some big towns there, you know.
I may
So
do the place I did last year because last year originally I was gonna stay 2 nights, and that
mm,
got me like a different like private room.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then I dropped it down to 1 night. I was like, well, I'll just drive home after the second day, you know.
yeah,
And that changed me to like the Gen Pop room. So I didn't go there this year.
Jen-
Instead, I found this other place, and I wish I'd dealt with the Airbnb the first place because I could deal with a rooster at 3 a.m. But
yeah.
the thought of no hot
yeah.
water and
No
no.
hot water. Oh
Yeah,
Oh
Lord.
yeah, yeah. I woke up
Cold
that
shower.
morning. I was gonna take a shower and like there's no hot water. I let it run, let it run, let it run, nothing. And I was on a clock. Like I wanted to get to the venue so I could
yeah.
have breakfast and hang out for a bit. So I was like, all right, let's double down on the old body
Three
spray
points
and
wash. Yeah, the 3 points wash.
yeah,
So
yeah, the old horse bath there, and
it's
Yeah.
off I
rods and
went.
ass. You know, it's 4 points if you
So
have hair, but you don't have anything on top that you have to
yeah,
worry
no, I'm good there.
Oh yeah.
Um,
See, I got.
Yeah. So
so yeah, so next year that place will not be on the list of place. But it's weird. Like I just saw a post from actually the Chet Minton, the artist, and he got an Airbnb with a bunch of people like Delaney and a bunch of people, and he's like, "Yeah, the creepy haunted house," and he posted pictures of it, and I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's where I
absolutely
was
looks
staying.
like a haunted house."
yeah,
So there's a lot of weird places, I guess, to stay in Canaan or in that area.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to go. I think you have to go at least like probably 40 minutes outside
Yeah,
of
and I don't
there
want to do that. I mean,
to get something.
I don't need a lot. Like
Yeah.
if it has hot water, I'm happy. Like and
Yeah.
ironically, that place though, the where I did stay, I slept great, but it was just
Yeah.
man, that place was a dive.
Clean sheets helps. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I slept on top because I wasn't taking any chances. I had a
Yeah. I did that
thing in
before.
Yeah. I
my
do that at
hiking bag
regular
that I keep
hotels
in
now
my
too.
car.
It's like
I
I don't
pulled the
care.
blanket
I'll
out of
sleep on
that and
top. You know, my
passed
wife
out.
does the same thing. My wife
Yeah.
will use the towels, you know, to cover herself with, you know. So it's like, all right, you know, that's the
I typically don't mind it, but then that place it was just sketch. I mean, the guy like it was weird, and it was like I get there, I ring the bell, he comes out, he barely speaks English, he's got no shoes on, and checks me in, and then the buzzer goes off. I think it's his wife talking to me. I don't understand a freaking word she's saying. And then I take the end one so I can get out of there quick. And
Yeah.
I get in there, I throw all my stuff in, and I'm like, well, I just drove 4.5 hours. I got to use the bathroom. So I'm like getting ready to go to the bathroom, and all of a sudden there's a knock at my door. And I'm like, what the frig is going on here? So I hustle out, and she's like, "Oh, is everything all set?" I'm like, "Yeah, everything's as good as it's probably going to get." And thanks.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah,
they're
Yeah.
nice people.
I
It was
yeah.
I stayed in a sketch Red Roof Inn earlier this year. We went
oh,
up
the
to.
Red Roof Inn.
Yeah.
You know, it's like roll the dice literally on what you get, because I've stayed in some that were really nice, and then this one
Yeah, I stayed in
Mm.
one. I used to travel to southern New Hampshire a lot for training, and me and my buddy, and we would always stay at the Red Roof Inn, this Red Roof Inn, and
yeah,
it was fine. There was a dude at that place that had lived there for 7 years. I don't know how you do that,
yeah,
but he had been renting a room there for like
yeah. They
seven
had
years.
places like
Yeah.
that a lot back in
Crazy.
Florida. So
They should just give it to him,
Yeah,
I
the
guess.
Red Roof Inns. I mean, we used to stay at one in Pennsylvania years and years, like decades ago, and
yeah,
I don't think they've actually touched it in a couple decades, and so it's really run down now. So
yeah. But
yeah, Red
this
Roof
one,
Inns are not.
was like a Red Roof, was not the one that we stayed in. You could tell it was some other hotel at one point in time or another, and now they just decided to become Red Roof. But it was the same situation. You know, you show up, try to check in to, try and check in, and you get some guy that you can barely understand answering the door. You got to hit the buzzer to. There is nobody in the lobby. You got to hit the buzzer at the front door to get into the lobby. And you're like, dude, I made a reservation like, 4 days ago or a week ago or whatever, and but so, but I don't know. It's that's the big question. So, what kind of venues? I'm curious now. I guess ShireCon was at a VFW, so it's
Yeah, yeah. The this one I just signed up for, this OSR con in April. It's at a Elks Club.
Mm.
okay.
And it's gonna have everything on site. Like you can't actually bring in any like food and beverage. Like they're gonna have all of it there. They'll serve food and drinks and
Have their
stuff.
own
So
bartender and
yep, yep,
yeah.
yeah. They specifically said that they actually will have their own bartender and stuff. And it looks like a
Oh,
nice
that's
place. I've seen pictures of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
There's a
That's much.
Hampton down the street, so no Bates Motel that time. That hopefully that time I'll probably get a room in a month or so, and I got time. So
Yeah. Is that one of the smaller ones, or 150,
yeah, it's a
250
first.
people? Or,
Yeah, it's this one here. It's in. I'm gonna butcher the name. It's in Chelmsford, Mass,
okay.
and it's their first year. So a friend of Jeff Talanian's is putting it on. So um, I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. It's obviously for OSR games, and the guest list is pretty cool. There's like some guys I'd like to get a chance to talk to. So that will be good. I saw somewhere too they had some games listed, but when I signed up, they weren't in the schedule yet. I don't know where I saw them, but one of them was like a 6 hour Dark Sun game, and I was like, man, I always wanted to play Dark Sun, so maybe I'll
Yeah.
try to
Oh
do that.
wow, 6
I don't
hours.
know. Yeah, that's a long one, but
Yeah, that's a
they're
lot. Long
running
time
the
to be
con
sitting. Yeah.
from 8 in the morning until 10 at night. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So yeah, let's see.
I just don't. I think we need some in our area here.
Yeah,
You guys up in like the New England and the New York, New Jersey and
Yeah,
Pennsylvania areas.
actually,
You
what
guys are lucky.
it wasn't like this a couple years ago though, and even
yeah, this was a
pre-COVID,
lot.
it was not like this before. Like it really has. Smaller cons have really exploded.
Yeah.
These last couple of years.
Yeah.
They really are starting to sprout up, and like we said earlier on in this stream, the networking that is taking place between the smaller cons and spreading the word to each other, and
That's
I think it's going to
that
keep on growing.
that networking thing's pretty interesting too, as far as on a couple fronts. Like having gone to ShireCon twice, and seeing like how much of a presence that like Hyperborea has there, because
Mhm.
Jeff's obviously from New Hampshire and stuff, and there's several Hyperborea games going on, and I thought that was pretty cool. And then having like weird moments where, like, for me, like when we played your game afterwards, I was talking to turned out to be Mike. I didn't know his name at the time, Mike Stengel. And we were talking, and because he had run Dragonbane the day before, we
Right.
got talking about that, because that's a great game. And he says to me, he goes, "Oh yeah," he goes, "I watched your video on because I ran a Dragonbane adventure and I recapped it all." And I was like, "Oh man, that's great, thanks." And in the back of my mind, I'm like, "How the hell did you even know who I was?" Like I don't, I'm horrible at self promotion, so I don't do any of
Yeah.
that. And
I
but
heard
then
some of those
afterwards,
about them.
I figured out that when he sat down to talk with me and Joe the lawyer and was shooting the breeze, he introduced himself to all. I'm like, "Oh, no kidding!" Like, we've been in so many like live stream chats, like going back and forth and stuff. So I'm like, "Oh, okay." It's
Yeah.
weird to put like names with faces and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's cool to
D&D
do it, but
Dad,
it's
I think all of us have Hyperborea. So I think, you have it, right? You have third edition Hyperborea.
I
I
have
do
third
for
edition,
sure.
and this weekend I got, actually, because I'm
Yeah.
a collector, I got the second edition
Yeah.
players
Yeah. I
handbook.
bought an adventure for it, and I am going to be running it at CNY
A
Con.
whole shelf of it
So,
over there.
That's cool.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
have
So
every published, well, not everyone, all the ones that are currently in print. I have all their modules, and I have the third edition books, and I may track down, like, they had one edition that was just one big fat book, and I just kind of want that, so I've
yeah.
been trying to locate a reasonably priced
Well,
one.
little, I was Long Islander born, raised, although moved out. I'm in the mid Hudson Valley of New York now. But yeah, they have the Long Island. They have the Long Island Con out there. I haven't gotten out to that one yet, and that is mostly board games and everything. But they have some RPGs that they're doing over there. At least I think it's been evolving over the last couple of years and been gearing more towards tabletop role playing games. But yeah, ShireCon is probably depending on where you are in Long Island. Like if you're all the way up by the fork or either of the 2 points, and it's gonna take you 2.5 hours just to get to the city, and then I would say ShireCon or North Canaan, Connecticut's probably another 2 hours from there. Eric Tankar could probably tell you the best, because I think he's coming from Queens to head out to ShireCon. But yeah, yeah, definitely. Like, I don't know so much, too much about any of the Long Island conventions except for that one. It's literally Long Island Game Convention or something like that. So let's see. Clancy. So it was 3.5 hours for me there and about 3 hours back. All right. Oh, so you were at ShireCon? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's the Long Island table. There's a lot of RPGs at Long Island table. Yeah, but I think back previously there wasn't as many. I could
Was it
be
more
wrong.
board games or something like that?
Yeah, I thought it was more so board games and possibly like miniatures wargaming and
Yeah.
everything. But I think over time the tabletop role playing games have grown.
Yeah. And that's
On Long Island. Yeah. Yeah. So I was born in Hempstead, so that's pretty midway on Long Island, and then I moved out further, and then I moved to the Bronx, and then to Central New York, well, Mid Hudson, New York, I should say.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not out near Utica, right?
No, that's only like that's just a little over 2 hours for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
that's
a little over 2 hours for me. It's not a
That's
long
not
trip
bad.
at all.
6 hours for me.
Yeah.
Unless a tractor trailer truck crashes by a rest stop, and then it's
Yeah,
7.
you had that
Yeah.
next time, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that happened last time.
Oh no, it's probably about 9 hours for me.
It
Part of
was
Long
great though.
Island RetroCon.
I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm hoping to hit 'em.
one day I have to get out to the Long Island Con.
I know I've heard some people talk about Mythicon, which is over in Carolina,
Yeah.
and there's a Mythicon and a Mythicon West, and the West one is in Asheville. Of course, Asheville got
Mm.
damaged by Helene a
Mm.
year ago, so they're definitely wanting people to, just to come into town again. So I'm thinking about that one. That one won't be until next year. I think the Mythicon is in Charlotte, and I think Troll Lord's going to be there.
I am.
That one, and
Yeah.
then the
I know I've been talking to Chuck, trying to get Chuck to come up to, one of the northeastern cons. Once he gets past Philadelphia area, it would be great for them to go to Central.
Well, I think he's going to Page, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been there. Yeah, they went to Page last year. I saw him
Yeah.
at Page last year.
I think they're
They're
already.
going to Page again this year.
Yeah.
I'd love to get him a little bit more further north than there. So
I'm just deathly afraid of. I grew up in Florida. I'm deathly afraid of trying to drive in up in that area in the snow. That's what I'm afraid of.
oh, these are cons Page. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean Page is in
Yeah.
January.
January.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
That's
and-
the snow season.
and what's the one in Wisconsin? That
Gary Con.
well, is it? I think it was Gary Con. Yeah, that a Dungeon Delver went up there, and Eric, uh, Heidi's husband, had slipped and cracked his skull.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
You're right. Yes.
Yeah.
Agile Monk, if you
Okay.
can get him out there. But yes,
But
he will be at Page.
I'm
Yeah, I
still
know.
trying to get him to come here,
Yeah.
and he's only 2 hours from here. Oh, we're working on stuff.
Well, once they build their factory, their printing place, and they have their game room set up in there, I'll have to try to get out there to Little Rock, and
or wherever they're at.
I paid for a brick. I paid for a brick. I want to see my brick,
Yeah.
at their factory and play a game there.
Yeah, I hope they get that all straightened out and find a good place for the
Yeah, I'm
factory.
sure that they will.
Those guys are great. I got to have Steven on. Didn't get Davis too, but just I think he was busy doing something else. Being Davis, but great guy. I mean, and of course I've talked to Chuck back and forth a lot.
Yeah.
So I going back full circle to the whole, they're like, we make games. We don't care about, the
Yes,
politics.
absolutely. Yeah.
they have the right
That's
attitude.
making games.
That's why I said that's it. When I was looking, to finally after, the OGL debacle, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go find people that aren't they're making quality products, and I when I came across them and I heard that that was it that sold me on them. I got Shadow Dark here. I haven't got to run it yet. Again, it's the whole getting people. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a good game. I've played that quite a bit.
Yeah. So we're looking. I ran mostly for 20 years. So I've played one game in 20 years, and the rest of I've been running.
I'm running, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So like I said, open invitation.
yeah.
Tuesday night or Thursday mornings, I'm looking to run. I saw Paul is here. So Paul, I responded to your message. If Thursday morning works for you, gangbusters, Thursday morning.
I like that. I want to hear more about gangbusters. I enjoyed the conversation with I think Don and Mark were on one of the shows, one of the the groups that Don's with, probably the one with Tenkar.
I could move that to my Tuesday night as well. I got to see what happens. Like I had 2 character deaths in in my Castles and Crusades game Tuesday night, and this is that was our 13th week in that campaign, and one of my players, he was actually playing through it with a broken leg. You know, he recently broke his
Oh
leg,
my
and so he
gosh.
was like sitting in a
Oh
chair
my gosh.
and trying to manage through. You know, talk about it, and he was like, "Nah, I think I'm gonna just drop out for a while because I think he's gonna be on the mend for a couple of weeks."
Yeah.
So he was like, "Nah, I just don't got it in me to sit through even a 3 hour session like that."
Yeah.
So I get it.
That's got to be uncomfortable
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
I'm sure. So especially if it's in like a full cast or something
Yeah.
like that, I wouldn't even attempt it. I'd be like, no, I'll be checking out for a while too.
Yeah.
So I'll see. I'll see what's going to go on with that
EggCon
that
I'd like to go
campaign,
to.
and might give me a chance because I have a built-in group of players. Right, 5, 6 players there, or 5 players there, ready to play every Tuesday night, and that might be the best time for me to say, hey, you know what? Why don't we run different games? You know,
Like
I'll
every
run
week.
different games during that same time slot,
Yeah.
and we'll run for like 2 months on this game, and then 2 months for the next, and then we'll decide, hey, which game, by close out of the year, say which game which group of characters do you want to go back to, and continue
Yeah.
working from there, and that might keep it fresh for all of us too, because it's more important about the game group than it is about what game we're running. You know,
Yeah.
keeping the group together is more important to me than because we've had some hits and misses, with the games that we were running, like AD&D First Edition. We ran for 2 years and 3 or 4 months. Very, very consistent. That was a group of, initially 12, then 10, then finished out with like 7 or 8. Finished out the remainder of the 2 years with 7 or 8 players. And then the, Castles and Crusades, we've done like 2 or 3 different campaigns, different characters and everything. And they've typically run for about 3 months, 4 months, and
Yeah.
then kind of petered out. I'm starting to wonder if it's the game system that might not be so conducive to playing as long as AD&D First Edition, because you're kind of forced to play long with AD&D First Edition. You
Yeah.
know, the experience points and the leveling up is very, very slow in that. So I don't know. It's
We're pretty Jesus. We've had slow leveling in my CNC game.
yeah,
My group actually likes it too. I
yeah,
like
yeah.
it.
It's a
Big fans.
I just think that it's I think that it's a little so close to D&D that
Yeah.
AD&D, that it's like, well, you know what, we've been doing this same kind of style of gameplay for now 4 years, and I think every time we've tried to do a Castles and Crusades campaign, it's kind of bogged down a little bit. Maybe it's just me, and I'm getting less interested in running it, again for
Yeah.
so I'm. It might be me looking to just mix it up a little bit and get something.
My guys probably think I have like ADHD or something because I'm always like, hey, I want to play this game. And
Yeah, yeah.
thankfully,
That's the
my
other thing.
Thursday night group, we do that.
So
But
many games out
my
there.
regular group, they don't want to switch. And I'm like, I want to play like
Yeah,
Hyperborea or I want to play
yeah.
Dragonbane or Old School
It's like, yeah,
Essentials
I,
or
I want to switch it up a lot. I'm the
yeah.
same way. It's like I want to, if I'm running things, I don't want to run the same game, for unless it's like AT&T. I don't want to run the same game for 6 months.
I've heard a lot about Dragonbane very recently. I think one
Yeah,
of my
Yeah, it's an awesome game.
yeah,
one of
it's
my
another game I want to run. It's like I have so many games I want to run.
one of
Yeah,
my
I like the
co-panelists that
longer
does
game.
that.
I like the longer game, but like I just have so many great games that I want to play. So it's like
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna end my CNC game to end around 15th level, which that'll mean
Yeah.
we're probably playing for at least the next 6 years of real time.
Oh
But
my
Yeah. Yeah.
god.
which is fine. But because I get to play other stuff like
What,
my
you don't want to
Thursday
go up
night
to
game.
24th level?
No, because I honestly I originally were that was the plan. But I don't think any D&D style game really holds up at high level. I just don't
Well, I
think they
mean,
do.
if you look originally, CNC when they came out with the Siege engine,
Right.
it was only designed to go up through what 13th level,
Well,
I think,
right. So
Yeah.
if you look at,
or
and that's
12th
what I
level.
did.
12th.
You
Yeah.
look at a lot of the old, like Hyperborea goes to 12th level.
Yeah.
OSE goes to 14th level if you're a human. All those older games, they didn't go to those levels, and
Well,
you were
yeah.
getting castles at 9th level. And the reason for
Yeah.
that is because you were getting ready to retire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so I just don't think any of them really hold up at high levels. I
Yeah.
know, like my experience with 5th edition, that completely fell apart at
Remember
high
third
level.
edition?
Yeah, 3rd edition. Third
Remember-
edition. Third edition fell apart because it was, in my experience, because it was a friggin' nightmare to prep.
Mm.
Because like stat block for a monster was like 2 pages long. Like it was
Yeah.
ridiculous, and it just became such a nightmare to prepare that we quit at like 15th, 16th level. So yeah, I don't think any of them. I think you need a different system altogether to hold up
I
for
mean,
really
they
high
had.
level
I'm
play.
surprised.
You
I'm
know?
surprised they never did the epic levels with 5e the way that they were trying to
Well, it's because you're
crank
epic
out
right off
stuff.
the bat.
Yeah, well, that's true. it's people don't realize, people that only play 5th edition and have never run it don't realize how hard it is to balance. And I
Oh
don't
my
mean
god.
balance like in Munsters. I'm talking about how to balance, not a TPK versus a cakewalk.
Yeah.
It's like literally walking a knife's edge.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
It was
Otherwise,
not
it's not challenging. If
right.
and you if you get, especially if you get a couple of seasoned veteran players in there, man, you could have
Yeah.
3 veteran players and they'll just
Try having
walk
8
right
of them.
through you. Yeah, you're right. Well,
It was awful.
3 of them can walk through a dragon, so you
Yeah.
know.
I threw they were well into their teen levels. I threw 2 adult dragons at them, and they murked one of them nearly in a round. Like
Yeah,
I should have thrown like 5 dragons at them,
right.
but that would have been ridiculous too. So it's like, yeah, that game, man, I was well and done with that system before we finished our campaign. I was
Yeah,
like, nope,
it got
I am never running
ridiculous.
this again.
And by the time they got around to Tasha's, it was just forget it.
Oh God, horrible, horrible.
That's when I stopped. I'm like, nah, I'm done.
Yeah. Even as a
Moving
player,
on.
I thought it was horrible.
Yeah,
We'd have
yeah,
characters that were in our group that were built out of Tasha's, and you could tell, like they were just. I'm like, yep, that's a Tasha's character, and they're
yeah.
like, yeah, I got that from Tasha's. I'm like, yeah, I know you did.
Well,
It's out of
my
control.
my
Like,
my my buddy, he played a Tabaxi monk.
yep, there you
It's
go.
like right there, boom. Forget it.
Only only taught by the Tabaxi swashbuckler, which the
Right?
swashbuckler is the most overpowered class in 5th edition.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous. And I had one in my game, and the player was awesome. Like he played him
yeah,
like a great player, but that thing was nigh unstoppable at times. Like
yeah, yeah. You're
it
like,
was
oh my
crazy.
god, what? Yeah, you still have more actions.
Yeah. Oh God.
you know, you can move how many feet? Oh god.
I think it
All
was
right.
you.
Well,
I think it was you, Rich. Like
What's
Mike
that?
Mills posted something on Twitter one time about like all the actions and stuff in 5th edition, like slowing down the game. And I think you responded was like, well, then why did you design it that way?
Yeah, yeah, I
Like,
did. I threw it right back at him.
yeah, I
yeah,
Yeah,
laughed. I thought that was fun. I'm like, yeah, you designed it. Like,
yeah, yeah.
no shit.
It's
Maybe you
it's
should
like
have
that.
play tested
That
it.
was something I pointed out one time, or I mentioned. I was like, you can't come out and say. I think I said it to RPG Pundit actually. You can't come out and say that 5th edition at its core was the best combination. It was supposed to be modular, and I was like, no, because some of those modules that you could remove should have been put there in the beginning. They
yeah.
shouldn't have been there in the first place. It opened the door.
And the ones that were
Yeah,
removed, they stuck in 2024. So
yeah. It's like it's a. I was like, no, it was a design flaw right from the get go.
yeah,
Short rest design flaw. Death save
Oh,
design flaw.
yeah, yeah. Okay, go fight. Short rest.
take a
Yeah,
nap.
Take a
yeah.
nap.
It's like
Taking
Just
that. Oh,
what
I
the
fell
design
in a
flaws
I
right
fell
from
in a
there.
pool of lava and I took 100+ points of damage. I'm just gonna sleep for 8 hours, but I'll be okay.
Right. Yeah.
Horrible
Mm.
system. Horrible.
Yeah.
Not my favorite. I ran a lot of it too, so I
I
mean
mean,
I
we got a lot of
by my
people in the
opinion rightly.
hobby, but uh,
I mean,
I'm not.
I had some great campaigns with it. It's just the system. I could have done the same great campaigns with a different system, and
Yeah.
we probably would maybe even still be playing some of them.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
I was ready to be done.
The game that doesn't get enough talk is Shadow of the Demon Lord.
That's
I've
a game
seen
I
it
want to check
online.
out because I like the premise of it.
Yeah. I like what it looks like. I haven't
Yeah,
actually
exactly.
dug into it at all. The art looks
Yeah.
incredible for it.
Well, it's from what I understand, it's basically like Sauron 1.
Yeah.
And deal with that,
Yeah.
players. Which is it looks great. It looks great. It
Yeah.
even had no, that's not the never mind. That's a different thing.
There
It's a
was
different
another
game.
one it was like a Rangers based kind of game. I'm gonna forget what it looks like, what it was called, but it was another one. It was before Dolmenwood came out. There was another one before that,
Hmm.
and that looked interesting, but never backed it and everything. I was like,
Still waiting
I'll
for my
remember it some
Dolmenwood,
other time.
anxiously.
It might have been
Yeah.
like the Rangers of something or
Hmm.
something along those lines. I forget.
Yeah.
But there's so many games out there that just
Yeah.
cool stuff, and I would love to play it. So many games that I've bought, and it's like I'm never going to get around to playing this thing.
I just gotta get.
So
I just gotta get people.
yeah,
Hey, anybody in
yeah,
East
I don't
Tennessee?
have a
Come on,
problem with
look me up.
people. And my players,
You need
like
to
I
get
said,
one or two. Man.
they're
You can start
fairly
with one. I mean, like
open.
I said earlier, I most of my gaming as a kid, I was with me and my best
That's
friend.
it.
Yeah.
That was it. We
I
played
hope I
games
didn't
and
just block you, because I'm trying to click on this. Yeah. So
Rangers of
that's it.
that's a
Shadow Deep.
miniatures game. Matter of fact, I
Rangers
have it
of
right next
Shadow
to me.
Deep. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so you have it too. Yeah. So that's.
This is actually it's actually a miniatures game
Is it
by
really? Okay.
the guy that designed Frostgrave,
Mhm.
Joseph McCullough. And
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
you can play it by yourself or you can play it it plays cooperatively. So it's not like a typical miniatures
Right.
game. I've actually never played it. I love the premise of it and I bought it and it has a bunch of well, it has some add-ons. I only have
Yeah.
one, but yeah, it's the same guy that designed Frostgrave, which
All right.
again I haven't played, but I should because I have
See,
a
we have so many games that
shite
we
ton of
just haven't
miniatures and
played.
terrain I could use, but I just haven't got around to playing any of them.
Yeah.
Again, lists of good games, and just haven't got around to playing them.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I'm leaning towards saying to my group, listen, I want to get more games in there, and we'll circle back and come back to some of our favorite campaigns, but I
Yep,
just want to get more games in there.
that's
Uh,
what my Thursday night group does. That's what we're
yeah.
doing.
Just kind of a
We'll play
rotate.
like yeah, one of us we're all DMs or game masters. So
Yeah.
like my son just finished running 8 sessions of Greg Gillespie's Dragon Slayer RPG.
Look,
We were
Got
playing
that.
around.
Got that on the shelf.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Yeah.
were playing in the Highfell Mega Dungeon, so he was running that. And last Thursday we started playing another friend that he's running us through a second edition Ravenloft module, and we're using
Okay.
old school essentials for that.
Okay.
And then next after that we'll be playing DCC Lankmar, and then it'll be back to my turn, and I might actually go with old school essentials.
Mm.
That's
See, I
what
was
I'm
gonna
leaning
run. I
towards.
was gonna run some of the old modules because I picked up a lot of Goodman's. I've got the whole set
Mm.
for the old. What is it? The uh, original adventures reincarnated, whatever. The OAR series of the
Oh
Goodman
yeah,
books.
yeah. I have a few of those. I don't have them all, but I
I
got
have all of them, and I have the ones that are not out yet, already paid for. So I'm hoping to get some of those, and of course, the first several ones that they did were the original TSR stuff. You know,
yeah. The first what 6?
yeah, yeah. So,
I was,
and then
I was bummed that they lost that because Wizards of the Coast wanted to do their hack job of redoing those modules. because I wanted to see Goodman's do like the A series or the Giant series and stuff like that. They would have done it because all the other ones are great. Like I have
Well,
the Temple of Elemental Evil, which is my favorite module of all
yeah,
time,
yeah,
and they did an awesome job on that. And I have like a couple others, like the Search for the Unknown,
yeah.
Keep on the the
Keep on the Borderlands.
Borderlands. Yeah,
Well, keep on the Borderlands is a good one to run as a West Marches type thing, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
So
yeah. I've never run it, but I just grabbed it. And
well, and that's the thing. I've got a couple of handful of the old modules that I managed to pick up, but that's it. You know,
yeah.
I it's
I
so
ran
hard to find.
I ran Keep on the Borderlands for about 14 weeks.
Did you?
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. They spent about 14 sessions with that.
See, and
Um,
I was thinking, okay, well, I can take their 5e conversion and just flip it over to CNC. And if I need
oh
any
yeah.
advice, I can always look at the original printing that's in the beginning part of the book, you
Mhm.
know, because supposedly you could take pretty much any OSR stuff and
Yeah, you just have
use
to
as is.
take it and make it make a little bit more sense.
Yeah,
So that's a thing. Like there's very little reason for all of those creatures to live in the caves of chaos, and you got to flesh it out and give a reason why they're there.
yeah,
More so than from what I understand, the second edition version of that, to return to the Keep of the Borderlands kind of cleans that up a little bit, and alters the story and makes the story make a little bit more sense. But you could do that on your own too. If you're an
yeah,
experienced game master, you can figure that on your own.
yeah. But I figured any of that stuff would be great source material to run, in CNC.
Yeah.
So
Seems to be pretty easy to adapt to any of
Oh yeah,
those.
that's real easy to adapt. Yeah,
It's a great.
your
Its
biggest
biggest strength, I
adaptation
think,
to
is it's
that
so
is just
hackable.
going to be the ascending armor class and having a BTH and
yeah.
applying BTH to the characters instead.
Well, and
Yeah.
in the case of those, they're all a 5e edition
Yeah,
conversion in there. So you're just converting from the 5e one over.
yeah,
You've
Yeah,
already
because
got
some of it's a direct, like just use if you're fighting a goblin, just use a CNC goblin, so
right,
yeah.
right. Yeah, just sub the CNC
it's not hard.
creature for it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not hard.
1-to-1. Then just use that stat instead. And
Yeah,
Okay, guys, I am going
I use
to.
all sorts of different stuff in CNC. I pull in stuff like from Hyperborea or
yeah,
Joe Block. His Adventures Dark and Deep.
yeah. I saw him. He just is he doing a Kickstarter or he just kicked off?
I think it's
He
Beta
just,
Man to death
I
with this
just picked
book.
up the second. I just picked up the second edition of that. So
Yeah,
yeah, I just
Best
got
ever.
that
I use this thing
recently
all the
after they
time.
sent
It's
me
awesome.
something new. I haven't even gotten around to running that yet either.
yeah,
No, that's the only. Well, I have another. I don't have the core book. I'm a sucker for a monster manual. So when he showed this off when they first came to print, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to buy that. And
yeah.
Yeah,
it was it's really good. I use it all the time. I probably use it more than I use Monsters and Treasures
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's cool.
because it has
Um,
everything in it, and it's not. So I have the reforged. Well, I have the original too, but I have the reforged Monsters and Treasures. And it's good in some regard because they added some stuff that wasn't in the other thing. They took like the chunk of that Fey out of the middle, which was great.
yeah,
But the
Yeah,
other problem with it is they changed the names of stuff to get around the OGL or whatever they were trying to
yeah.
do with that. And so sometimes I'm like, well, where the hell is this? Like, it
Mm.
was here, but now
throws
it's
you
not.
off.
Yeah. So this thing, I just like, oh, I want to look up whatever. I'm like, well, I'll just look it up. So
Yeah.
there's a ton of stuff in there. So that's a good book. I was hoping Joe was going to be at ShireCon because I wanted to look at
No,
his
he had to.
Greyhawk stuff and his
Yeah,
the core book for that, but I'll have to catch up with him at CNY.
yeah. He told me that he had to. Or he announced that he had a family event
Yeah,
to attend. So, all right, guys, I am going to have to run. It's been great, and
hey, man. was good to see you again this
He
week.
started the light version. That's correct. Yeah, he put out a light version.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just keep the full version.
Yeah, you don't.
You know, I literally just bought it like not even 6 months ago, so I don't need light. I like the more filled out version of it anyway.
I like
the
reference books, man.
the regular one anyway because I already have this. The light
Yeah.
one is just meant to be all like contained in one. Like
Oh,
a
is that what it
movie
meant? All right.
media.
Yeah. I don't.
That's all it is. Like I watched him do one of the live streams he did about it, and he just condensed it down. I think it doesn't go up as high in levels, so he was able to take out a chunk of the spells
Oh,
because you're
okay.
never going to get them with
Yeah.
that version.
Okay.
But he just wanted something someone could pick up and just play, and that's kind of why, from what I understand, why he did that. So I would
yes,
probably,
he
if
does.
I was
He
going to
does.
buy it, having this, I would just buy the regular book. So
Yeah, that's probably what I would go for
beat
myself.
a guy to death
Yeah.
with if I needed to.
I like the big books that have all the stuff.
Yeah, I like
I
a
want
fat
all the toys.
game book. Yeah,
All right.
give me it all. I don't
Yeah.
want to be held back.
Yep.
All
All right,
right.
guys. I'm going to call this one a night. Thank you very much, and
See y'all.
see you around. Yeah, I'll be back next Sunday. Next Sunday, 7 p.m. I don't know what we'll be talking about, but we'll see. Maybe Tom will be there next Sunday.
That'll be
He
good.
can talk about ShireCon and talk about all of the behind the scenes for ShireCon. So you guys have a great one, and yep, everyone in the chat, thanks for popping in, and good to see some of you that went to ShireCon for the first time. So it was great meeting everybody there as well, and look forward to seeing you again next year.